Welcome into the Cam and Strick podcast, episode number 229, presented by Hair Club.
It's pretty nice just coming straight here. You know what I mean?
I don't know what you mean.
Well,
I
took
nobody knows what you mean.
The show that I do, I told them I'm gone because I didn't want to do the radio show and then do 3 hours with you and then get organized for our trip and then my trip after my trip. So it's just I need to get organized with the animals.
I got a couple
and stuff.
questions about this trip.
What?
I need to know what's going on here. What's the itinerary?
We just have a draft this tomorrow.
You're going to
night.
have to let me know like when
You ain't
to
getting
be,
drafted. You're already a part of a team.
when to be there.
Yeah, no, we're all going to hang out together, dude.
Yeah.
But if you want to go
I'm not
go
getting
off by
I'm
yourself,
not getting drafted.
no one's gonna know.
I'm not going to get drafted.
No, you're not getting drafted. Just I will get drafted.
You don't know that.
John Winsick will get drafted.
You don't know that.
I watched some highlights of John Winsick last night just for shits and giggles.
The T stop at the bench.
Jesus Christ, man. God, they were scary. And then they're fighting the Canadians. God, they're just going toe to toe, man. And it's like they don't stop, right? Like they'll go and they'll go and they'll go and their jersey will come off and they'll go and they'll go and then they'll fall and then they'll pull each other's hair and then they'll lay on each other, choking each other, and no one breaks it up because there's other stuff going on. Like it's
choking each other.
Yes, Andy. Like there's laying on each other, like, and John Winsick grabbing a guy's hair, like damn. It's pretty hardcore, man.
Dude, there's some crazy stuff that goes on in this world, man. There's all these fight Twitter accounts, which are very scary. I don't like watching.
Clown World and all that.
But you have turned me on to a few of these accounts.
I can't do it.
All of a sudden, I start following in them, and they just pop up nonstop throughout the day. Like, what is going on?
It makes you think negative.
Men fighting women, high school kids fighting each other.
I know.
It's always a dude.
Gangs killing each other.
It's always a guy hitting his back of his head on the concrete.
Oh God, I know.
And you hear the head like explode.
Oh, hey,
or the shoulder cap, the shoulder.
Yeah, I
you know what that is, Cam? Like the bone.
Oh, the thing that you don't have.
That's over the shoulder, and you can hear it just completely crack on the concrete.
Remember they did that in New York City? They had about a couple, I think it was like a decade ago. They had these little punks, were knocking out old women. Like it's called the knockout.
It's called the knockout game.
Like knocking out just like older women or just like a girl walking down the street just knocks her out. And you know what? When that happens to you, man, like they have brain damage. Like if they had like imagine like walking in and all of a sudden somebody tried to do that to Kate. Oh God. I know there's like 10 of them. I'd try to kill them all. They'd have to kill me, I think.
Really?
I think they'd have to kill me. Like I'd try to kill them, with my bare hands.
You know that in my neighborhood? Very dangerous neighborhood where I grew up.
Your neighborhood right now?
Well, where I grew up.
Where'd you grow up?
In Creve Coeur.
Oh God!
What are you trying to say?
I'm not gonna fall for it, man. Well, I'm not gonna fall for it.
There was a lot of shit that went down.
I'm not gonna chirp, dude.
So what would happen is if you're driving at night, and if a car going the other way had their lights off, and you flashed your lights at them to turn their lights on.
Yeah,
because that's what you do, Cam. If the car doesn't have their lights on,
you better watch that because you might get pulled over.
No, they'll turn around and chase you, and then they would do something very, very bad to you.
Stupid story.
Have you heard about? You remember that?
Story.
You remember that?
Oh, Andy.
You don't remember that?
No.
Like if the car didn't have its lights on, you flash them.
Yeah, for safety.
So then you were told don't flash the car because there's bad people in there. They want you to flash them. So the second you flash them, Cam, it's a U-turn, and now you're in a little bit of a dangerous situation.
Never had to go through that, dude. That's the most pussy thing ever to deal with.
Could you imagine somebody did that to you?
Well, there's so many other things that you need to worry about, but like you flash a guy, I'm not worried about that.
I saw a video the other day of this dude.
I'm just not worried about that. I'm worried about getting robbed downtown.
Well, he's driving. I don't know how these guys have video cameras on themselves while they're driving.
A lot of them have dash cams.
Yeah, well, I don't have a dash cam. You have a dash cam?
No, I don't.
Anyway, he gets road rage, which I never get. Yeah. I don't get road rage. You can cut me off.
Oh, God, sometimes.
And although sometimes I get a little bit of road rage, recently, actually, it's gotten a little bit worse in my older age.
You just got to calm down.
But I usually can breathe, just take a minute. But he had the dash cam, and somebody did something behind him. You couldn't tell what happened. And all of a sudden, the car just drives by, and he starts shooting at the car.
Well, you don't do that. You got to swallow it sometimes. Man, I got to deal with these hillbillies out yonder. When I get up at 4 o'clock and get on the road by 4:50, 5 o'clock in the morning, and I'm way out there, man, and these guys are getting to the job site, and they're fucking behind me, like, going 90 miles an hour with their brights on. And I'm like, pass me, dude. Like, I'm just getting like,
No,
pass me, man. Like, I'll slow down.
They
I
don't
drive
have
so
time
slow.
for you.
Yeah, they got to get to their job site. So it's like, just pass. It's just annoying. I can't see as it is. There's deer crossing the road. Oh my God. I saw something the other day, man. I get up and I do my daily, go get some food for Kate and stuff like that on Saturday mornings. I just like to chill, drive on the back roads out by me, man. Listen to music, listen to something, whatever it is. And I'm coming back and I see there's just always animals everywhere on Bassett Road way out there, man. And the deer come and I'm like, oh, cute little deer, da da da. And then this wolf coyote hybrid trots along chasing it, and Andy, it was gigantic.
Wolf coyote?
Yeah, it looked like a wolf, dude. And it was a coyote that was big. It might have been like a dog hybrid coyote. I've seen one of those. There's pictures of those out by me. But it was really big. And I slammed. I'm like, whoa! And it was chasing after this deer, like a wolf. It looked like a wolf. Looked like a gray wolf.
Well, probably
it didn't
was.
look malnourished. It didn't look like it was like skittish and weird, like some coyotes when you stare at them. This thing looked big.
You know what it probably was?
It looked muscle bound.
Probably an Alaska Malamute.
Yeah, but it wasn't a dog.
Well, because
The head was
a
too
wolf
big.
essentially is a dog.
Yeah, I know. But
So,
it's
I mean,
it's a different kind of breed than a
It
dog.
could have been a wolf.
A wolf's a wolf.
Husky Malamute mix.
It could have been anything.
Which
what it was
at
is
the drum circles back in the day when I used to be in the woods a lot of people
Yeah.
would have Malamute, wolf mixes.
yeah. There's no one has.
There's a
those
lot
dogs
of
out
dog
there.
with wolf mixes.
There's not. That wasn't it. It was a big oversized coyote. It might be one of those dog hybrid coyotes.
What's
but
that
it was
going to do to
scary.
you?
It'll tear you up, man.
An
Those things are-
oversized coyote?
Yeah, they're meat eaters, dude. They're mean.
I saw a
They'll
guy
gang up on you
slam
like
a
a hyena.
coyote down to the ground the other
I'd
day
do that.
because it attacked his dog.
I'd do that. If a coyote attacked my dog, I'd certainly go after it. But there's going to be more just around the corner, and they'll lure dogs in and
You'll
attack
get
them.
rabies.
Yeah, you had to go get rabies shots.
You know what
for
happens
damn
if you get
sure.
rabies? 16 shots in your stomach, dude.
Yeah, there's a lot. I don't know if it's 16, but they're big injections too. I heard.
16 shots right in the stomach. They always told us that when we were kids, if you get rabies. Everyone was scared of like dogs and stuff like that because of it. No one wanted to get the rabies.
Yeah, I remember that. I
You
remember the rabies
see
talk. back
what's
in the day.
going on in third world countries if they catch you stealing?
Yeah, Andy, I know about it. Like, I like how Andy sometimes he's so goofy, man. Like, he's so one-dimensional with stuff. Like, always hockey and kids hockey. That's all he does. And it maybe like last night, I could see him sitting down for 20 minutes and watching like The View, and then they're talking about something, and he picks up on it.
It
now he
was
wants
not
to
on
talk.
the
Now he wants to
Today
talk.
Show this morning.
Like, yeah, we know third world countries, man. Like,
Okay,
yeah, I
well-
know.
Well, let me tell you
they're all
what I
different.
saw. Let me
They're
tell you
all
what I
different.
saw. And this was not
All
on
bad.
the Today Show this morning. In fact, on the Today Show, they are recapping the Oscars from last
Oh,
night.
cool.
Did
So
you
cool.
watch that?
God, no, man.
Because
No way.
I had the Blues game last night, so I was not watching.
Yeah, I wasn't watching the Oscars. I don't care.
No,
Nah, I don't care. I don't want to get preached at.
I heard that
I don't
wasn't
wanna
going
hear-
on as much
I don't want you to tell me how
because
bad
the
we
Chris
are.
Rock
I
special.
don't want you to tell us about Ukraine. I don't want you robots saying anything.
I don't think that's
Go
happening
on your
as
screen
much.
and do your stupid ass movie that I probably won't watch, and just shut up. I don't give a damn about you.
That is very aggressive.
I don't care. Like, I don't
These
care.
are great people.
You're like a woman. You know, women love, like, men love like things, you know, like they love things. Women love people. They're obsessed with people.
I don't.
You love
I
people.
don't like. Listen, I couldn't name you.
You love people.
I couldn't.
You're
name,
obsessed with people.
I couldn't name you 2 movies.
You're obsessed with like that kind of stuff.
I couldn't, and I never know celebrities,
know
dude.
either
I don't know.
movies.
I swear to God, I don't know celebrities.
I don't either.
Besides,
I don't
like
care.
the obvious ones, like Chris Rock. I watched the special the other day. I'll get into that in just a minute, Cam. Just hang
he's
tight
pretty
on
cool.
that. Hang tight, real quick.
Everybody
will you?
already saw it, man.
Okay.
It's all good.
No, but
It's
I
nothing
want
new.
to bring something up about it. But I want to tell you, in the third world countries, what's happening when they catch you stealing. This one dude, they tied him up. He's hanging from he's tied behind. His hands are behind his back.
Yeah.
He's hanging from like a hose or a rope or something like that's
Noose?
attached to a ceiling,
Yeah.
but it's not around his neck. No.
Okay.
And he's just like dangling there. And dude, they're attacking him with a weed whacker.
Oh yeah.
Like with
An
that,
electric weed whacker.
it was like a weed whacker. I mean, I don't know if it was electric gas.
Where was that
whatever.
at?
I don't know what country.
Yank.
I don't want to like give a false country out there because I don't.
Well, what they look like? They look Middle Eastern. They look Indian. Do they look African?
I could probably
American?
find it for
or
you here
African.
in just a minute.
African.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah. Well, go to the Congo and See what they're doing out there.
So would a weed whacker hurt you?
God, yeah, dude. You ever get whacked by a weed whacker? It's horrible.
Yeah, I have once or twice.
Mm-hmm.
Hector, actually, the reason why we had to kind of split ways, actually, when I first moved into my new house, he weed whacked a siding on the side of my house and he ripped it up, dude.
Well, Hector needs to get
no insurance.
Why don't you weed whack his ankle?
I should have well, this is not a third world country.
Oh.
Just because, but that is torture, Cam.
Yeah, I know. You get tortured, man. Hey, we used to do that too in Guantanamo Bay.
I'll see if I can find that video. Can you find that, Brody?
Andy, I believe you.
It
man.
was,
like,
he's hanging, they're attacking him
Andy
with the weed
belabors
whacker.
stories that he thinks are cool. Like, we know that happens. Like, that kind of stuff happens.
No, we don't know that.
Dude,
I've never
watched the last. Hey, watch
seen
a good
the
movie.
weed whacker attack. I've never
but I
seen
believe
that.
Andy. It's all good. But like, you ever watched the movie The Last King of Scotland?
Was that up for an Oscar?
Yes, Forrest Whitaker.
This year?
Fuck no. This is like in the early 2000s. It's called The Last King of Scotland. Idi Amin is like the king of this African country. It just was.
Amin's Middle Eastern.
This guy was African. Andy. Well, Forrest Whitaker, who was phenomenal actor, played him, and he was so cruel. It was such a good movie. Check that out, all y'all out there. It's called The Last King of Scotland. Really good. Just this about dictators are interesting, man. They're evil, but like they're just like, how did you get there? How did you become evil? Like, what are you doing every day? Who are you controlling? Like, who's your fucking like? It's so weird, man. You watch these documentaries on some of these guys, dude. Oh, Gaddafi. That psycho.
Omar Gaddafi.
Dude, he was like
Gaddafi.
Yeah, he was so handsome.
Gaddafi.
He was like all the women loved him, and he became powerful. Gaddafi.
Really?
Like movie star. Looked like a movie star.
Really?
Yes. And then
I don't remember Gaddafi really looking like
back
that.
in the day. Yep, back in the 70s and stuff. It was,
really?
Yes, and he.
What country was that?
Egypt.
Afghanistan or something?
Egypt.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So if you run Egypt, what kind of power do you have?
You got a lot. It was. I believe it was Egypt. Any of those countries.
Well, they're going to let you know.
There's a lot of resources, oil,
my people.
Some of these little countries in the Middle East, man. Some of these kings, dude, they're like worth trillions of dollars. Trillions.
Wow.
Like Bill Gates ain't the richest dude. Bezos ain't the richest dude. Elon's not. Not even close. It's these Middle Eastern king, like these fucking oil guys that's been in like their family been running it down for decades and generations. Those are the guys that are the richest guys in the world. They're trillionaires.
Yeah, but it's not.
It's not what?
It's not legal.
Yeah, it is. It is.
How'd they make their money? Just by being a dictator and stealing from everybody.
No, their daddy did it. Their daddy was a war hero. And then then they got voted in, and then he's a dictator. Like it's, or he didn't get voted in. Like all those countries are different. They're scary, man. We got it good here, dude. Everybody bitches about so much stuff. All y'all in Canada too. You got it good too. I know sometimes Justin Trudeau. We got Biden. People hate Trump. But we got it pretty damn good. We got it good. There's a lot of shit going on, but if you could sit back and really think about it, you could become what you want to become in these countries, man. Like, if you want to be an entrepreneur, you can. You truly can. Step away. Go cruise around and check it out. Go down to Mexico. Man. I mean, you got it pretty damn good here.
I saw this one.
You see the Mexican tourists going over there? But
what is happening?
Hey, the cartel's the scariest thing going, just so you know. China and the cartel. That cartel is scary.
How are you connecting China with the cartel?
Well,
explain that.
Well, they are somewhat connected with the drug situation. They get a lot of those drugs from China and they fucking bring them up here through the border.
What kind of drugs they manufacture in China?
Fentanyl.
Oh, yeah.
Heroin. All kinds of stuff, man. Absolutely. So they're connected with the cartel. The cartel is scary, dude. You see these four guys from...
they have homeless people in China and stuff like that?
Yeah. It's scary, dude.
You been there?
No. I wouldn't go there. I'd like to go and see the historical aspect of everything, man. Like I would. I'd eat their food. I'd check out stuff, but I'd be scared to go there, no doubt. I'd go to Japan.
You'd be scared to go to China?
Yeah, I would.
Why?
I don't know. I don't trust them.
I know a number of people from there.
I don't know. You made
fantastic people.
Yeah, I know. It's not the people. It's the government, of course.
Oh, because of the communism.
Yeah, you just don't. Yeah, you just don't. You mess up one little thing.
You throw a little wrapper, like you try to throw something away, but it hits the ground.
You go to North Korea. You want to go visit North Korea. You have to like acknowledge Kim Jong Un's picture on the wall, and if you don't, like you're going to prison. Like
remember that
your
one
family's
dude,
going to
he
prison.
messed with the picture at the hotel.
Yes, the German kid. They tortured him. They did experiments on him, dude.
Would you
Warmbrother or something like that?
Would you ever go to North Korea?
No, but there's people that are interested in that kind of stuff.
What if they wanted you to coach their hockey team or something in
North
Korea?
I mean, if Kim Jong-un's like, come out here and party like he did with Rodman.
For $1 billion.
Yeah, I'd do that. I'd take Saudi money too. Hell yeah.
How do you think Rodman and him got so tight?
He's a basketball weirdo fan. Kim Jong-un, yes. Rodman's gigantic.
Isn't that crazy that Dennis Rodman could just go meet with like Kim Jong-un?
Trump did it too. But
did he?
Yes.
Oh yeah, they became pretty tight.
He went over there. Yeah. And that's fine. You have to have some sort of relationships with some of these weirdos. Mm-hmm. You do.
But even when you go over there and you're the president, like, and you're in a third world country and like everything's all fucked up, but you bring your own like security and stuff like that, right? You still bring your own people. Mm-hmm. Of course. Are you protected?
Yeah.
How? In somebody else's country?
Because you're going to start a war that they're going to lose.
I mean, could they just apprehend Trump?
You would start a war that you're going to lose.
Like, they don't have enough Secret Service there to
You will start a war that you're going to lose. They don't want to do that.
Like, immediately.
They act like they're tough, but you don't want to go toe-to-toe right now. It's devastating. They'd get owned. Now, they're powerful, but they'd get owned.
Yeah, but what if it took years to get them out?
Yeah, like, that could happen. I mean, that could, but
so
you're starting a war.
Is he in danger to go over there?
Of course. Yeah, of course.
Has Biden been there?
I don't think so. Biden doesn't even know where he's at right now. But we don't need to get into that because I don't want to piss anybody off.
Okay, I mean, that is
you
just
started
well,
it.
I mean,
I
for you, half the people listening are probably not happy to hear
then I'm
that,
sorry about that. That's just my opinion. Listen,
some people have said that they don't like your politics.
Then fine, I'm sorry.
Politics and religion.
I love all you guys.
Those are topics you don't bring to the dinner table.
I didn't. You brought it up. You just asked me.
Well, you said he doesn't know where he is.
He doesn't. You watching him? Like, you could chirp anything. Like, he doesn't. Like, I don't know how you can make an argument that he does.
He knows.
He's not there. There needs to be age limits, man. Like, he's old. They're all old.
What should the age limit be?
65.
For president?
Yeah.
Oh, no, you can go higher than that.
You could start at 65.
No, I think if you're in your 70s, you could still have it together.
Okay, then I say 65.
How old is
70.
How old is Biden? He's in the 80s.
I mean, he's walking like a skeleton.
That's a little bit too old. Well, how are you going to walk when you're 80?
I won't even live to 80, but I'm not going to rule the world.
Really? You don't think you will?
No.
Cam?
Probably not. 80? I don't know. That's old. You
know. So getting back to Chris Rock, I watched the entire special. You know, I had watched the first couple of minutes, and I really wasn't into it. But that was a week or two ago. But I really sat down and watched the entire thing. I thought he did a hell of a job.
Yeah, I like him a lot, man.
A lot of like race comedy and stuff like that, which you're going to see. But I thought that it was interesting, some of the stuff that he talked about. But I feel like you see more and more comedians now and celebrities that are bashing the cancel culture, that I think it's going to have an impact into Hollywood and with some of the other stuff going on, where maybe everyone's not going to be like so cancel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hope
Where they
so.
just want to cancel you for like doing anything.
No, they're going to start keep trying to do that.
At the Oscars last night, I didn't watch it, Cam. But from what I understand, that the speeches were not like politically driven like they had been the last couple of years. You know?
It's just, I don't give a shit. But yeah, I get your point on the cancel culture. Look, it's hard to cancel somebody that's got a big following that puts their foot down and says screw you.
Give me an example.
Dave Portnoy, you know, Bill Burr, Norm Macdonald.
So Bill Burr, he was the other guy. Remember, I said I watched his comedy special.
Yeah, I like him a lot.
And he was crushing the cancel culture.
Of course. How can you not?
So I feel like you get a lot of that going on. Now you have people from like, you got African Americans doing it, you got white guys doing it, you got different people who are doing it.
Well, because they're starting to eat their own, homie. You know what I mean? Like you can only be so virtuous with these people, you know? Like you could have every kind of, look, I'm on that. I agree with everything, and then you mess up one time, they'll get you. So it's all coming back, and they're eating their own. So they're like, "Well, what's going on here?" Now they're like, "Well, this isn't right." Well, you wanted them canceled, but now that you're getting shit on a little bit, now you're like, "Well, this is something." Well, okay, I'm glad. Everybody needs to speak up and be like, "No." Like, no, I'm not.
Did you see JJ Redick on First Take?
Of course, man.
First off, let me just say,
buddy.
First Take is I may be in the minority.
I don't even care about it.
I like the show. I think the concept of it is it's cool. You know,
who's better, LeBron or Jordan? Who's better, LeBron or Jordan?
That's not the concept I'm talking about. I just
they talk about so many things.
People who like can have opinions.
Where's Aaron Rodgers going?
That's all they talk about.
All they talk about.
I know.
Andy.
Listen.
It's
I don't
horrible.
I don't love everything about it, but I will say, in terms of like a debate show that's on television for sports, that's probably the most popular one.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, they're on the biggest platform. Is it good?
Do you like
I-
Stephen A?
He's whatever. He's just loud. I don't care for him that much.
Like, what's your opinion of him?
He's all right, man. Like, he's entertaining. You know, yeah, he's a know-it-all. It's like,
I think he
okay.
gives opportunities
when
to
he-
a lot of like different
Okay,
people.
well,
to-
then that's cool. Then if
You know
he
what I'm
does
saying?
that kind of stuff,
he makes a
then
shit ton of money. That
makes
guy.
a shit ton of money. Like I don't know opportunities he's giving anybody. Like, okay,
No, he brings on like different people to his show and
well,
stuff.
that's
like
what
that.
everybody does, Andy. I mean, that's what you do.
No,
when
like
you have
he
a
like
show.
runs it. He like runs the network almost.
All right, he's whatever, you know.
But anyway, so JJ Redick, he's a basketball player. Cam
Yeah, I know. White boy.
He played at Duke.
Yeah.
And you had Kendrick Perkins, who played a long time in the NBA. And I listen, I kind of like Kendrick. I think he's cool, man. Like sometimes, you know, he gives opinions. He has his own way of. It's like Marcus Spears and some of these guys that are on there. They kind of got that Southern drawl, and they're somewhat entertaining, man. They do a pretty good job of articulating the game. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's football, basketball, which is the only sports they talk about, as we know.
Yeah, which
So remember,
can
everyone
only
got all
talk about
angry about the hockey.
I
Which
don't care.
But who would turn on First
Don't
Take
bother
for
me.
hockey coverage? I mean, geez,
ain't listening to
don't
those guys.
take everything so personal.
Yeah,
but
it
anyway,
don't bother me.
so Kendrick Perkins was saying this guy Jokic, who's won the last 2 NBA MVPs, is going to win the third one, and he essentially implied that the voters in the NBA who vote on NBA awards
yeah,
are overwhelmingly white. In fact, he cited a number, 80%,
which is false.
which ESPN had to retract the next day with Molly Kieram, who's my girl. I like Molly.
She's beautiful.
She
Dude.
is
a beautiful woman.
beautiful.
My God Almighty,
She is so cool too.
is she cool?
I think so.
Uh,
No, she's
I'll
just
be the
got,
judge
like,
of that. I haven't watched her enough, but she is a beautiful woman.
gorgeous.
God Almighty.
Well, she's got to deal with a lot of like different, you know.
Yeah, she's got to
She
play
just
ball.
kind of sits there.
She's got to play ball. You know, I get
I
it.
think she gets annoyed as shit.
I
with
bet
all
she
these
does.
guys, dude.
I bet she does. A bunch
She's
of.
probably like, shut.
You know how
up.
some of those ex-football players are. They're a little touchy poo.
Well,
in the
not as
workforce,
much
eh?
after like remember they got rid
They
of
got
the
all
entire
rocked.
NFL network.
All those guys are probably peacocking around. Girl, what you doing, girl? What you doing, girl?
All the stories
and all of a
coming
sudden,
out.
the girl's like, "Fuck you! I can fucking rat you out and get away with it now."
know.
And they did.
Dude, they got rid of all those guys at once at
Fuck
the NFL
yeah,
network.
because who knows what they were doing, man.
Well, there were
Pepe
like
Le Pew's-
stories like in
Yeah.
like the dressing room, in the bathroom.
Yes.
Man,
Can you
those,
imagine
those
that?
football players like in the 90s,
Oh man, dude.
they did whatever they want
Mhm.
away from the
Cowboys.
field or whatever.
dude.
And the way they talk to anybody, women, whatever, you know, just like
And then
there was never any repercussions.
what happened with the Michael Irvin thing though? Because that I think
that's
was
at the
debunked.
hotel, man.
I think she's a hey. Listen, those guys are touchy poo, but sometimes the girls are like, I'm gonna get me mine
Now,
now.
listen.
and I think that she was one of them because Michael Irvin now is suing, and they're like, show us a camera footage. Did I do anything to her?
He didn't, and
I don't think he
they were
did.
reluctant.
Yes.
They didn't want to show the
I know,
video.
so I gotta give him a shout out because.
But
he's
I've hung out with Michael one time.
Oh yeah, you guys are probably really good buddies. Eh? They're like, he's probably where's Andy? We have so much in common.
So I was at an event. My wife was with me, and we're all just hanging out down at the Four Seasons. But he's a different cat. I will say that about Michael Irvin. Like, he's one of those guys where you're just kind of like, you don't know if he's completely like fully there or he's not there. He's just an entertainer. He put on a show. Like, he's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't like touching or doing anything like that. Like, nothing crazy. He's just
You get taken advantage
he's,
of, man.
no, he's just kind of that type of harmless individual that everyone gravitates to.
Yeah, no, he's a
You
big.
know what I mean?
I don't know if he's harmless, Andy. I would say that he's just a big dog that you are, and if he's nice, you're that's a
But
compliment.
he's talking.
Like I like
yeah,
that.
he's
He ain't
talking
a-
to everybody.
Now, if the guy at the rink who coaches AAA
No,
is
it's
creeping
not-
out your, then we
no,
got a
that's not
problem.
happening.
Okay,
But it's Michael Irvin. Everyone's like
It's
having
like-
cocktails and having a good time. And
but do I think he's harmless? Like, I would say probably not.
really?
I don't know. Like I don't know.
Well, so the story is at this hotel that apparently he went up and said something to her, and then they kicked him out of the hotel because she complained. And I
Yeah.
guess Marriott staff saw some stuff go down.
yeah, but they
He
didn't.
was intoxicated.
I heard they didn't though, and I heard it was just like, hey, see you
well,
later.
good for him to sue them back.
I would, but he lost out on the Super Bowl.
He did.
Yes, it's
and
a big
lot,
deal.
And a lot of appearances down there.
I know. And now you're dragged through the mud.
And he's
What if he
already been
didn't?
dragged through the mud for years, and everyone's waiting for him to
or anybody to mess
slip up,
yes.
right? And so he's had so many issues, but he's like a very likable guy on television, man. He's crazy on there.
Yeah, I don't mind him, man. I don't, but that's why I'm like, damn, if he didn't do anything, that sucks so gosh damn bad because your name is dragged through the mud. No one believes you.
But he puts himself in
No one believes you.
position all the time because of who he is and his personality.
Yeah, he's always
like
places.
he doesn't just walk into the hotel and go to the elevator and go up to the room like most people, or maybe stop by the bar. He walks right up to a fan or a beautiful woman that's standing. He wants to have like small talk and like be Michael Irvin. And sometimes you just never know nowadays, man.
That's what's
Everybody's you just don't know who you're talking to. Everyone's money hungry.
I know.
They're so happy.
Like he walked me to my car, but he was really weird. He was what'd I do? I walked to your car. I was weird. Like you could say anything.
You can.
It's scary, man.
He should be actually thankful.
I told you
that he was at the hotel where they do have cameras and whatever.
Even like on a different, in my own little bubble. Like
nobody would believe him otherwise.
No, but like even in my own little bubble, like being around, and we're around fans and stuff and people, and then a girl will be, hey, sign this, and like okay, and then they'll bend over. And they want you to sign it on her back.
Wait,
and you're like, what? And you're like, no, I can't do that.
She wanted you to do that.
Yeah. And I go, I can't do that. I'll just sign it over here and I'll give it to you. Because now she's like, here, just put it on my back, and bends over in front of you. I talked about this before. Like just little things like that. Although she's good looking. And it's like,
what's she going to do with the signature on her back?
No. She has a picture. And we're standing around, and she's like, there's nowhere to sign it. Here, put it on my back, Andy. Think with that brain of yours.
You're assuming that she's being like
she's
inappropriate.
Even if she's not.
She didn't have a table or anything for you to sign it on.
But even if she's not, Andy, the optics of that, if somebody takes a picture and she's bent over with her ass hanging out, and I'm bending over, or no, it just doesn't work that way.
Well, did you see all the video footage of J.A. Morant?
What an idiot. He's an idiot.
Spent $50K?
Huh?
I think he spent $50K at the strip club, dude. The entire strip club is just littered with money.
It's embarrassing.
Did you see? That's money, dude.
Like you gotta pay to get vagina. Why don't you go wheel a chick? Why don't you bring the girls back to your house? Why would you go to a Rippers anyway? Like why? Especially if you're that status. Like why do that? Nothing but trouble. And then you're just giving your money away. Why don't you just like tell them to come to your house, pay them to come to your house, and fucking party at your house?
I think he was on the road.
Or what to your hotel? I don't care. Like something. Like why spend money in a Rippers? And then he goes to the club. Like clubs are so stupid anyway. Like I used to do that scene, man. But they're
but he's in his young 20s.
I know,
That's
but like
kinda
you're a
what they
monster.
do.
But you need to bring a gun in. And then
He had one.
Yeah, and you're showing it off like I'm gangster. No, you're not. Grew up pretty good, I thought.
Did he?
John Morant, I believe he did. I don't think he's gangster, dude. But now he's acting like he is. Like, you got to get that out of you, man. I had to get away from fucking dumbass buddies, dude. Dumbass buddies, man. And God knows what his buddies are all about. Like, who knows, man? Sometimes you got to get away from them. There's other ways.
So
it's all about girls.
He flashes the gun.
It should be all about girls.
But here's the question. Because I think he's got like a kid and maybe even like a girlfriend or a wife.
Yeah.
Certainly a baby's mama. Yeah, you don't have any of those, do you?
No, Andy, actually, I don't have any.
A baby's mama?
I did pretty good.
Okay. So he's got like at least one that I know of. I'm not sure how many kids he's got and all that type of stuff. But how did the pictures get out? Like that strip club, if they're releasing the photos, like good luck getting anybody with high status coming back there again, dude. You can't trust if they're.
Why do you think it's a
Is that an invasion of privacy?
I don't know. I don't really care.
Well, we'll answer the question.
I don't know. Who took the picture? It wasn't them. It wasn't the strip club. It was probably some dude, and he posted it. What do you mean?
All these dudes are doing that. You know that?
Doing what?
Messing with their wives, messing on their wives.
Yeah, the guys in hockey do it too.
What do you think of that?
Your little nerd neighborhood, some guys in there are probably doing it.
Oh,
My neighborhood, some guys are probably ripping on their wives. Damn right. And you know what? Some wives are ripping on them. It goes both ways.
Yes,
I wouldn't want to live that life, man. I've hung out with guys, and they weren't reeling anything when we were young, and I'm taking them out. And once they marry a cute girl who's so sweet to them, now they want to go party. And you're like, what are you doing? You had all this opportunity. Now you got a little bit of money. This girl loves you. Like, loves you. She's a sweetheart. And you're fucking ripping on her. And it's like, damn, dude. Like you're gonna get smacked in the face.
We were talking about this last night.
And you know what, dude? You're not gonna wheel anything cooler than that. Like you're gonna
some people,
and you're gonna be stuck to that, and she's gonna hate you.
Like,
you're gonna
dude,
spend a lot of money on it. I
listen,
don't know.
there was an incident that happened recently. I mean, some people they just don't hide it, dude. They're way out in the open.
Yeah, I know.
Which
I've seen that too.
Which in that situation, Cam, I just wonder if there's like an agreement in play. Like their
Maybe.
wife must
Andy?
know, dude.
Andy, sometimes
How could their wife not know? But you got places all over the country, players, former players, man. Sometimes smaller cities, dude, the word gets out. It gets around.
Oh God.
And the way these guys just, and you said women too, but I'm just focusing on like athletes, for example. The way they cheat on their wives, dude, how could their wife not know about it?
Because they're probably heads in the sand, and they don't want to know.
Really?
Yeah, sometimes.
You think they just look the other way?
I think
Because they don't want to jeopardize leaving that lifestyle?
You're going to be okay if you leave that lifestyle, because you're going to get half of it. So you're
Well,
going to
that's
be
what
okay.
Chris Rock said. He said,
Just let
my
me know.
ex-wife's got just as much money as me,
I
and
know.
she ain't even funny. Or
She's
something.
not funny. She didn't do anything. Like, I
That's
made
why
all this
he
money,
said
and she gets half.
He said his pronoun is broke.
Yeah, like, she gets half of it. So, like, they're in a pretty good spot to divorce. But I do think that you think sometimes you can walk on water and you won't get caught. Like, if I try to cheat on, you couldn't do it.
Would you feel
Like,
guilty, dude?
oh my God. I'd have, dude, because I'm such a karma fueled guy, like a ham. Like I just know my life. And you guys are like, karma, blah, blah. No, in my life, that's how my life works, man. I've gotten smacked in the face every time I fucked up in different kind of ways.
You got peed on,
a different
too,
kind of smack.
back in the
This,
day.
that I did get pissed on. I had to fight the guy.
Mm-hmm.
But like, man, like it just, I wouldn't be able to do it. Now, you know, it's tempting, but I'm a hideous mutant. Now imagine Kate walking, like if Kate went to Nashville, she could walk into any bar, anywhere, and wheel any guy, any fuck time, anywhere in the fucking bathroom. She could go in the back. She could take him to this. She could go up to any guy and be like, hey, you want to come back to my room? They will stop what they're doing in front of 50 guys and be like, yes, I will. That's how easy it is for a woman. Just remember that. All y'all out there think I'm a wheel. Well, you're a girl. It's, hey, listen, I don't care how handsome you are. You can walk into a bar, girl, be like, I'm not going home with you. You're weird. Like, get out of here. Get out of here. But a good-looking chick could go to any guy.
Let me ask you this.
And they'll leave in 2 seconds.
All right, let me ask you this one.
Yeah.
What about the girl who is constantly inviting over and sleeping with a man who she knows is married? Is she just as guilty?
Yeah. You know, you're being gutless too.
Is that gutless?
Yeah, of course it is. And it's gutless on both sides. But like, if you're in a relationship and your girl's sleeping around and you get mad at the dude, get mad at the girl. Like, she's the one doing that to you.
Wait a minute. Say that again.
You know how all these guys, like, if their girl cheats on them, like, I'm going to kill that guy. No.
Right.
Be pissed at your girl.
Right.
Now, your
Well,
buddy's,
and the
if it's
guy,
your buddy,
too.
if you don't know him, like, what does he care? If it's your buddy, he's not your buddy anymore. You hate both of them. Get the hell out of there. Like, yeah, man. Like, no, it goes both ways, big time. It totally does. What was the question again?
That was the question.
Yeah,
I think the person
of course.
who's sleeping with a married man or woman.
Here's how I look at it. Too.
They're just as guilty. Not just as guilty, but
If
they're
you have a
guilty
sweetheart
too.
girl, man, and you're married to her, and you're cheating on her because you can't help yourself, then, man, you're going to get it. Like, I'm not saying I'm perfect with anything, dude. You know, Satan touches me every fucking day, taps me on the goddamn shoulder, and he's like, it happens every day, man. I got a lot of issues I got to deal with every day, and it's all good. I love my life, man, but I'm just trying to be real with all y'all. But if you're cheating on your girl and she's good to you, man, you're going to get smacked in the face. Now, if your girl's not good to you, and she's a bitch, and you're like, she doesn't give you any love, and you're like, I can't help you gotta get a divorce. Well, I'm not gonna do it for the kids. No, your kids are gonna look at you too.
Are you
and they're
giving
gonna be,
marriage advice?
I kind of am. Now, don't take me seriously. Don't take it. This is just my
I mean,
opinion.
are you like a marriage counselor?
No,
right
I'm just
now?
a realist, and I've seen a lot of shit.
So you're saying if she treats you,
I'm
like
not
crap,
done talking.
You're saying don't just go out and like you
No,
should
you
just
gotta-
leave,
you
get
should
out of the
divorce her.
relationship.
Yep.
So you're encouraging divorce.
Yeah, you're gonna eat it, but you're gonna be happy. You're not happy. Well, we're doing it for the kids. Okay, your kids hate you because all you do is fight with each other. and she tells them how bad you are, and you're like, oh, I can't stand her. Do you think your kids, that's not fair to your kids. You might as well get the hell out of there, regroup, and then love each other in different ways because you can't do it together. And you're miserable. You're miserable. And that's when you do stupid things. So if Kate and I are ever miserable, I'm done. She's done. Kids are not. That's just my opinion. I know it's a pain in the ass. I know you're going to eat a fucking shit sandwich on so many different levels, financially and all that. But you might have to sleep in a shit. Listen to me. You might have to sleep in your goddamn parents' basement for a couple years.
Ugh.
But you're going to be happy.
That ain't happening. No, you won't.
You'll be happier than having to deal with that every day.
I don't know about that.
Oh, well, it depends on the situation. It depends on the situation.
Cam's always
if you hate your wife, you hate her, but we're sticking on the kids, man. Like, you're not yourself. You're not yourself in front of your kids. You got to get away from it. That's just my opinion.
I got you.
That's just my opinion.
You like to give it like advice about like kids and stuff like that, even though you don't have kids.
I don't know. I was a kid. My parents fought all the time.
Did they?
And they never.
Well, aren't you glad that they didn't get divorced?
Well, if they were really fighting to a point where it didn't work, then hell yeah, I want them to get a divorce. They figured it out.
Well, so who's to say another couple can't figure it out?
Well, it depends on the level. They weren't there yet. They almost got there. My grades were starting to get fucked. I gave up on school. My mom didn't know what was going on. My dad's traveling with me every single weekend, and it costs money. She didn't know I was scoring 4 goals and knocking guys out. She didn't know.
Wait a minute.
You know what I mean?
You were
in
scoring,
AAA? Are you out of your mind? Jesus. Everybody dominates AAA if you make the NHL. I don't care who you are. You dominate AAA.
Mm-hmm.
But like they fought for money. Fighting about money sucks. But my dad never cheated on her. My mom didn't do that shit. So they were okay. They still loved each other, but they just fought a lot. But then it was over. Then it was over. And they were best friends until my mom died a couple months ago. They were best friends to a point where they cut off everybody else but us because they loved each other so much. They had their routine, and it worked. But if you're miserable and you literally don't love your wife anymore, my mom and dad never not loved each other. But if you don't love your wife anymore, I don't think you can sustain that. That's all. That's all.
Mm. Did you ever consider going into like marriage counseling or?
We're not there yet.
No.
I'm an alcoholic.
No, being a counselor. Cam, I'm saying
what?
Being a counselor. Like you're giving the advice, you're doing the counseling.
That's funny for me.
I mean, this guy thinks that I'm asking him if he should be going to marriage counseling.
No, I didn't. Oh,
I mean, you're going on this rant. You're giving everyone the advice. I mean,
No,
I'm asking you if you should maybe get certified.
I don't want people to. I want people just to listen and then take away what they think. Don't ever take me seriously, man. I'm a joke. I told you.
Maybe,
but I try to be a realist. That's
can
all.
we maybe have people send us questions?
Hell yeah.
About their relationships.
Oh, anything, not just that, anything you want to know. We might even take questions before we do the ins and outs from you guys. If you just message, what do you want to message? Twitter or Facebook or Instagram?
Dude.
Message us and say, hey, talk about this. Hey, ask this. Hey, this, that, the other, whatever. And then Brody will clip that off and we'll go through them. Damn right. Not just about marriage, about drugs, about anything.
Yeah, include that we have permission.
Anything.
Or say your name or something.
Well, you don't have to. Just put a fake name in. Yeah. It doesn't matter. No one knows anyway who you are. You're up in Saskatchewan.
So, listen, my people in Saskatchewan. I'll say what's up to all y'all right now. Or Newfies.
Or Alberta.
Noofs.
Or British Columbia. And we're missing one.
What?
We're missing
Nova Scotia.
Nova Scotia and then
Ontario.
Quebec. And then one more. What? Alberta.
PEI.
Saskatchewan. Oh my God, they're gonna get so pissed at us.
Dude, I can't believe you're doing
this
to my Canadians. All my people out there, listen, you know.
Oh my God, what am I thinking?
That's why you come to me. Okay?
What the fuck, man? They're gonna be so mad at us.
I know this dude in like high school at parties and stuff like that. He would steal.
Steal what?
Like jewelry and shit like that.
Oh, gutless. Yeah, I mean.
You know what I'm saying?
That's why, dude, Andy, if one of the kids wants to have a party and you're away, dude, I used to do crazy things at parties.
What do you think about it?
I would, if I was at your house, first, if I was in high school, I'd be cruising up to that room of yours. I'd go through your medicine cabinet. That's going to get rocked off the bat.
Really?
God damn.
You would do that?
Dude, everybody's going to do that.
You're exactly what I'm talking
about. I know. Not jewelry.
I need you out of the house.
No, of course. There's a lot of me around, Andy.
No, they steal Rolexes.
No, that's that's whatever. That could happen too. You got Rolex. Well, they want them pills, boy. They want to look through them cabinets and make sure, wifey had a little surgery and she didn't eat her painkiller. It's going to make her tummy hurt. And they're going to take them bad boys.
Do they expire?
Doesn't matter. You could eat expired painkillers.
Well, because true story, my allergy eye drops are expired, but I've been using them. My allergies are just killing me.
If you wheel a girl, where do you think I'm going to take her? You think I'm going to do it on the couch in the basement?
No, in the bedroom.
No, I'm going to go to your goddamn bedroom. And spread my seed everywhere.
You ain't got to tell me that.
I'm just letting you know. That's not me, dude. I'm not in high school anymore. It's going to be one of Ty's buddies.
Yeah.
Or Chloe's buddies.
Oh, my God.
Oh, Andy. Don't be a pussy when it comes to this. Now I'm getting pissed.
What do you mean?
Because I have a feeling that they're just going to take advantage of you and Lori. And I don't want it.
Oh, no.
They're going to look through all your stuff. They're going to take all kinds of shit. They're going to go through your cabinet. They're going to do their thing on your bed.
Oh.
And then Ty's just like, nothing happened. You're going to be like, oh, that's cool. No. Don't get taken advantage of. Now, be the cool parents. Have them come.
What's the cool parents?
Just be cool to go down and just,
drink with them?
No.
Buy them alcohol?
No. Hell no.
Oh, they all do it.
Don't buy them alcohol.
They all do it nowadays.
I wouldn't do that now. My parents used to do that. You can't do that now, man. And then
no,
they leave.
I think it's the other way around.
And then they leave?
No, it's the other way around. When I was a kid, there was maybe one or two parents, maybe that I knew of, who would let us drink at their house. Okay? Now I feel like every parent just lets the kids just drink at the house.
At what age?
High school.
Yeah, we did that, man. We were smoking, drinking, shooting, snorting, doing all kinds of shit. We were partying hard.
Like dude. The Murdochs?
Fuck it. I was doing whatever was available. We had a lot of drugs.
I watched
go
the
through.
the three shows.
We're done with those fucking
It's
redheads.
never done.
Fucking stop. No one cares. People in Canada are like, shut the fuck up.
No,
they are. They don't care anymore.
I just want to say this because
convicted.
The boating accident.
Yeah.
That kid should have gone down.
Yeah, I know.
And they tried to blame the other kid.
We know.
They're like monster family, dude.
There's worse families than that.
A lot of guns on that property, Cam.
Okay. But maybe if there was one more, somebody had a gun, they wouldn't let it happen, I don't know. But yeah, dude, a lot of drugs went down at Eureka High School back in the day. Man.
Can I just read what this person said?
A lot, yeah.
Okay. He says, all I have to say is, he wanted to chime in on the Christian stuff.
Oh, no.
He says, shame on Christians that expect people that don't believe what they believe to act differently. He has a feeling that when you read the person's message in the podcast, they're probably super proud that their message made it to air, but have no problem making Jesus and his church look disgusting to those that don't know him. I just want to personally apologize to Cam.
Oh.
Anyone who calls people out using Jesus as the reason but doesn't share the gospel with them is doing more harm than good.
What do you mean by that, though?
He's meaning don't just call them out. Share the gospel with you.
But they did kind of. They said Jesus loves you. He's not. I asked some questions, too, by the way. I go, is he mad at me? And I said he. It could be he, she. I didn't
just know, Cam, that Jesus does love you.
Yeah.
He died for you and paid for your sins just like he did the ignorant Karen Christian that decided to call you out. Wow. Oh, the Karen Christian.
I see. I don't.
Do those exist?
Yeah.
You've created some Christian on Christian.
I don't want that
conflict.
Yeah,
here,
I know. I don't want that. And he's so sweet, man. I appreciate
this guy is very, very nice. I think his heart's in the right place.
It makes me feel good. It does make me feel good.
But the Karen Christian, that's what he's calling them.
There's Karens everything.
He said, I guess that person forgets that he is also a sinner and needs a savior. Just know that we aren't all like that. We don't expect people that are not Christ followers to act like them.
I am a Christ follower. Like I'm not. I just don't express it the way you think.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know I do feel like I'm in a spiritual way. I know there's some higher being that evaluates you, and whether it's Jesus, whether it's that, whether it's this, like I feel that way, and I'm glad that I do. Just so when you mess up, like you just know, like
it gives you
watching.
some feeling of oh, it's okay,
Dude,
I messed up, but I'll be forgiven.
When I was young, I always had that in me in a way, but man, sometimes I felt like there's nothing that could stop me, dude. Yes, confident, like I could do anything and nothing's gonna break me.
You still feel that way?
God, no. God, no. God, no, man. All the stuff I've been through, done near died. Like, you overdose twice in front of your family. Like, you have a different, a weird awakening, homie. So you know. It's a horrible experience. No, but when I was in my mid-20s, early 20s, late teens, oh, God. Nothing rocked me yet, until it did. And you're like, oh, okay, I can be beaten. I know it sounds weird, but I'm living my own bubble, dude, in my own little bubble. I did think that way for a while.
Mm-hmm. In a third world country, they'd get you with that weed whacker, dude.
Well, shit, you do any kind of drugs in a third world country, boy, you're going to jail for a long time, brother.
Dude, these people
and they're gonna get
that
you.
try to fly
They're
internationally and they hide shit, and then they get caught.
What's that movie? Broken Paradise.
Yeah, but
with Claire Danes.
God. Oh, but you don't know any of these actors and actresses, dude. You just like name drop
Claire Danes.
I don't know who that is.
She's all right, but she was on all kinds of stuff. But she's in this Broken Paradise or something like that.
She won
Broke Down Palace.
She won an Oscar,
dude.
She give a speech.
They met this handsome guy, drug dealer. Didn't know he was a drug dealer.
True
handsome
story.
I don't know, but it probably is a true story because that's happened before. So these two girls are on vacation. They're gonna go to fucking Taiwan or something, and they meet this handsome guy at the pool, and he smoozes them and and like we'll travel together. And he's a drug smuggler, and he finds good-looking, innocent girls like that, and he had a bunch of heroin, and he puts it in their bag, and they go across, and they get.
He planted it.
Yes, and they get.
What would you do
in
if
Thailand,
somebody did that to you?
There's nothing you can do. You got to get a lawyer.
You got to live with that anger. Lawyer? What's a lawyer gonna do, dude?
Well, that's the only way to get out of prison.
In a third world country.
So what else are you supposed to do? Fight them?
They ain't listening to no damn lawyer.
Well, eventually the U.S. will figure it out. Hopefully, I know Biden's sleeping, but like,
no, he got Griner out.
Yeah.
Who, by the way, I understand her mid-range game looks
about the other dude?
Very good right now.
Anyway,
no, her mid-range game.
I don't care.
She'll be lethal. I think she's gonna probably average 22 and 12 this year. Is my guess.
It's funny. Anyway, so they have to go to this Thailand prison.
Oh,
and no one's listening to them,
dude.
and the lawyers are racking up the bills, and it's brutal. And the family thinks she did do it. Anyway.
Okay, so
Yoink!
There are shows out there like documentaries. Like it's I know it's not like Locked Up Abroad, but it's something where like
that's one.
Well, that's one.
Scary, homie.
Dude, you ever watch one of those shows late at night when you're home by yourself?
Goddamn right. Goddamn right.
You start hearing things around the house.
That doesn't scare me that much.
Oh, it'll scare me, dude. I have to change the channel.
If I watch ghost stuff, I'll be like, God, where's the cat?
But they reenact it.
Like, was that Boo?
They'll reenact it, and they'll have dudes who like,
I know what it is.
Like they meet up in like Europe, whatever. They get the drugs, and then they pay them, tens of thousands of dollars to fly it on their person to wherever the destination is. Usually internationally.
Yeah, Andy, I know.
And they get caught, dude, and then they're sentenced to like dozens and dozens of years, dude.
Terrible. Hard labor, man. They don't mess around with that kind of stuff.
Like, would you ever do that for any amount of money?
If you're desperate, it's a quick way to make a buck. But I wouldn't do it. Like selling drugs, you can make 800% uptick.
Damn, I'm not talking about selling drugs, like going down, like whatever. I'm talking like hiding it in your luggage or on your person and flying internationally.
No, Andy, I wouldn't do it.
With kilos and kilos of cocaine.
No, man. And it's tough to do that these days anyway, homie. Like, it ain't happening anymore, really. Like, it's hard to do that. They come through the border.
For like hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah, but you can't get through TSA and stuff.
No, I know.
So they come through the border. Now they have submarines.
The dogs get you.
The cartels have so many different ways. They're worth billions of dollars, Andy, like maybe even trillion. They have so much money. Well, they'll make a submarine. They'll have drones. They'll have this.
I've seen those too.
It's very hard to keep up with.
The tunnels.
But people bitch about so many different things. But like fentanyl in itself kills over 100,000 people a year, and it comes straight up from Mexico. And it comes from China, and it goes through the cartel. And like our border's open. It's open, totally open. And it's just coming through, and it goes right up Highway 44, right through Eureka.
Through your house?
It goes right through fucking Eureka,
from China?
Missouri. It goes from
you
China.
Think that's on the...
It goes to Brownsville, or it goes up through Mexico, and it goes to Brownsville, Texas, and it goes up Highway 44.
Yeah, through Oklahoma.
And then it goes to Highway 270.
Through
and it goes up to
Oklahoma.
Chicago, then it trickles back down to St. Louis, and it spreads out.
Really?
Yes. And you think all these kingpins are in these big ass fucking houses? No, no, no. They're in shithole houses in North City, and they're sitting on so much cash, and it's a fucking scumbag looking
I
son
saw
of a
this
bitch. And he's got
YouTuber.
all the cash in the world, but he can't buy a damn thing because he only has cash.
I'm thinking
Go ahead.
about becoming a YouTuber. They
Don't
make
you worry about the podcast.
they make a
like
lot.
You always
of,
do.
They make a lot of money. These YouTubers. This one guy.
We make good money.
I'm
We do our
telling you,
podcast.
these guys. This dude will.
Pump up our YouTube. We already have the content.
Okay,
Keep putting out stuff
I'm
on
talking about
YouTube.
another YouTube project I'm looking at. Okay, like this one dude. He goes and visits the most dangerous inner cities in America.
Yeah, I saw that cat. I'm not doing that.
And he goes and like chats with all these dudes like on the
I know.
streets.
I saw him.
They got guns. You see when he went to St. Louis
Yeah, I did.
in the Mark Twain neighborhood. So, anyways, he's down there. These dudes, all teenagers, probably not even 16. Some of them.
Yeah, no. No
Dude,
daddy.
just I mean, AK-47s,
yeah.
assault rifles, pistols. I mean, stacks and stacks and stacks of cash.
And they all live in shitholes,
Yeah,
you know, because you can only buy so much stuff with cash, dude.
but
You
that's
can buy guns. You can buy this. You can buy that. You can't buy anything nice.
you can't buy like a house.
Like, how are you going to do that? Where'd you get the cash from? Like, you can't just bring in cash. Well, they're going to be like, well, where'd you get this from? We got a tax on it. Like, how are you going to write? I mean, so that's why they live
Well, they
in
can buy
shitholes.
shoes.
They can buy. Well, yeah, that's why they look good. But look where they're living.
Even like the Canada Goose jackets. Apparently, like used to be back in the
You're right. I
day.
remember seeing those guys had a couple of
The Jordans.
Yeah.
They used to like attack you and like steal your shoes. Maybe like starter jackets. I had every team starter.
I remember
jacket
those
when
starter
I was a
jackets.
kid.
Those are kind of cool.
Oh yeah, I had a bunch of teams. But now like they'll attack you for your Canada Goose.
Andy, they'll attack you for anything.
But anyway, this YouTuber, he's visiting all these different areas, whatever. I give him a lot of credit, man. It's pretty ballsy to do.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
They're pointing the gun at the camera guy, and like
I
the
know.
guy with the microphone's like, hey, like, dude, they could have turned on his ass in 1 second.
Yeah. Right.
But I think they genuinely love the attention.
Of course.
Like, I don't mean like negative attention. I mean like, it's like, okay, somebody acknowledges
You know why?
us.
You know why?
Somebody's acknowledging us.
You know
that
why?
we exist.
Do you know why?
Huh.
Because when you're 15, 16, 17, and you come from a hardcore area, and you want to do things the right way, and you want to work and actually work, which not too many guys do because it's hard to. Here's why. When you're 15, 16, 17, you grow up in these hardcore neighborhoods, and you're not rolling with the gangsters. You ain't got the money. The women don't give a fuck about you. You think the girls down there, them girls in them neighborhoods, want to hang out with Jeffrey, who's working at Subway, trying to grind it, and is actually going to school? You think they want to hang out with him? Hell no. They want to hang out with dipshit gangster boy who's got a stack of cash,
Not
who
all of
actually,
them.
who's got the car, who's slanging, who's making, who looks gangster like it's a cool thing, like it's an image, it's a culture, it's a cool thing to do. The women, you got the money, you're making so much more money than fucking working at Subway. And eventually the kid from Subway is going to make it and be okay. And then he's going to get a cool chick that doesn't cheat on him and doesn't care about money and shit like that. And he's going to live a good life. But to get to that point is tough, man. It's tough when you're living down there to be like, I'm going to do it the right way. When all your buddies, they got gold chains because they're slanging, dude, and they're making money quick. But they're in the lifestyle. Some of them are getting popped. The women, the fucking money, the image. It's hard to turn away from that when you're growing up
No, that's
gangster.
the culture. I get it. I mean, you're just kind of like you're just. There is no other way, really.
No, there is. It just takes longer.
No. When you're growing up in that environment,
There is. There always
and
is.
your parents and your uncles
You have no
and your
daddy.
cousins, they're all. That's
all in
all they
jail.
know, dude. That's
they're
all
all
they
in jail
know.
too,
That's
though.
all they know.
But you know it's a bad ending.
So it's hard to find your way.
It's hard to find your way.
isolate
Yes.
yourself and find your way out of that,
Yep.
dude. When that's just the nature of the environment that you're living in. So it's yeah, man, that's why you see some of these athletes and stuff like that, and you're like, hey, once you make it, Deion Sanders actually, I
No offense, but being an athlete's completely different.
no.
No. Because you do get the girls when you're an athlete. You don't have to be a gangster and an athlete at the same time.
No,
You're an athlete.
What I'm saying
You're getting
is,
the girls.
What I'm saying is when these athletes can use their athletic achievement and ability to get out of the hood And then all of a sudden they start making the money and whatever, and they don't know how to separate from that.
Yeah,
they go back there. It's kind of like getting back to the Morant situation, man. That's why everybody's trying to you know.
He didn't grow up that way. He's trying to get to that point. It's
do you know
weird.
that? I don't know. I mean,
that's what I read. I don't know. Do you know him?
No.
Oh, okay,
but I mean, I don't know if that's true or not. He
went to a private school.
Well, a lot of these guys do.
I'm just saying, dude.
His
He's doing pretty good. I didn't go to private school.
Cam, these dudes, but they still go home at night.
No, I heard he didn't grow up in the gang.
Well, I don't know where he grew up.
Well, why don't you do some research?
But I'm saying, there's kids here in town that go to private schools.
And they still got to go back. I get that.
And they go back to the hood every single night, man.
I get that. No,
it's just these private schools, man. Like they recruit all these kids to come out and play sports at
You're
their
getting
schools.
educated, though, man. Just remember that. You're more educated than fucking everybody out where I live.
But I think it's easier said than done to just
I did completely block it out.
Completely remove yourself from your boys and your family and whatever, you know. And so that's why everyone's always trying to educate these athletes and stuff like that. Hey, well, once you make it and you sign that first deal, you got to separate yourself. Well, sometimes that's easier said than done for some of these guys, man. But they have to learn to do that. And you're seeing a lot of athletes who have been there before and have found their way out, trying to teach these young bucks, in terms of, how to go down that right path. You hear Deion Sanders talk about all the time.
Yes, the position players.
Oh yeah, he did talk about
that. Was pretty funny. So he goes,
yeah, but people took offense to that.
Yeah, settle down. It's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, just like with a fighter, you ain't looking for it. It is what it is. He said, the offensive guys, quarterback, left tackle, center, them boys are educated.
They got two quarterback.
No, he said the offensive line. I believe he said the offensive line. He's looking for guys that are educated, have two parents, and then he goes, the pass rushers.
He said quarterback, he wants them to have 3.5 or above.
Yeah.
GPA.
Well, you got to think a lot.
Two-parent home, all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Then he said defensive lineman. That's what he wants those people to have, free lunch, all that type of shit, and be from the hood. And anybody knew what he was talking about. But there's still people out there who want to find something wrong with it, man.
I like
Deion's
dude.
the best, dude.
I like his style. I like how he sat his son that was late for a meeting in a championship game.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, dude. He's cool. Dude, I'd play
he
for
sat
that
him
dude.
in a championship
because he's late, Andy. Mm-hmm. When you're late like that, and you think Deion's gonna be like, "Oh no, you can't do that." No, you got to make a
how long did he sit for?
He set a game.
Didn't play in the championship.
Yes, didn't play in a big game. Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. You're fucking late for a meeting, and you're my son.
Yeah, you can't do
that.
Everybody.
Yeah, you out of your goddamn mind.
No, you cannot do that.
Can't do it, man.
Let's get to a
feeling if you played, you'd be late all the time for meetings.
Dude, I played football, dude. I know what it was all about.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And a very structured environment too.
Oh yeah, dude. You did it, man. You did it. Gosh. And everybody in this city knows it, man. They all know. You did. You're one of the few, Andy. You're one of the few.
Football.
Proud.
If you play football. If you have that experience playing in a real football environment where there's real discipline and
you learn a lot from it.
And then you take that to other sports, it gives you a big time advantage. Dude,
imagine doing that till you're 32.
Gives you a big advantage.
So being going up through football, then
a lot of hockey players, for example, never were in that environment, dude. 2-a-days in 95-degree weather.
Yeah, it's hardcore, man. I did it, and I did cross country, and then I played for Don Morehouse, who's hardcore AAA.
Okay, but I'm talking about
and then played for Lou Lamoriello.
Cross country, this guy.
It's hardcore, dude. That was the hardest thing I've ever done.
It's hard, but it's not.
And he played one sport one time.
No, it's not. It's not football. 100 degrees in 2-a-days.
Dude, what are you talking about? You're
full pads on.
You're running for an hour in the heat. What are you talking about? It's the most miserable thing in the world. It's the most miserable thing in the world, man.
No,
I did 2-a-days. I did all that stuff. I did the hardest hockey camps. I did everything. Ran track. Cross country was the hardest damn thing. And the second wasn't football, wasn't hockey. It was wrestling. The hardest things ever.
They're all hard in their own different ways. All I'm saying is, when you if you're in that Alabama heat,
and those guys
Mississippi,
anymore.
I'm talking back in the day, dude. Mississippi summers.
I remember it, man.
And you got to go to 2-a-days, full pads.
It ain't no joke. It ain't no joke.
you learn a lot, man, in that
You do.
situation.
I said that. That's why, like, I wouldn't want my kid to totally playing football because this is hardcore. You know,
but you learn
but
a
like
lot.
you're disciplined, dude. And I love football coaches, man. They help people. They help the inner city kids. They help these hillbilly white boys that have nothing to. And they bring them in, and now you're part of a family, and you're disciplined. You're tough. You learn. You learn how to be a man. Damn right.
You know,
Andy,
they
you're
kicked
right.
me off the team.
No one even
my
knew.
junior year.
No one even knew.
Well, they
No
made
one
me go to
even knew.
practice every day and like watch for weeks and weeks and weeks because, you know, I didn't have a. It was just a tough situation, and I lied to the coach and said that I had a doctor's appointment that I couldn't make practice because I was going to go to
Get your
hockey
glasses
because I went
fixed
to
or something.
hockey tryouts instead.
How'd that go?
The hockey tryout, he was a new coach, and he was like, "You got to make it to one tryout.
They wanted you everywhere, Andy, around town, didn't they?
You got to be at one tryout."
They wanted you to go to baseball tryouts.
So I lied, and the coach found out because they had on the announcements the hockey tryouts were that day. So he came and pulled me out of English class. I think I told that story before. Yeah. And he said, if you're not at football practice today, then you're like suspended from the team. Yeah. I didn't go to football practice. Coach calls me that night. I went to the next several practices for weeks and weeks and weeks, dude. He just would never let me dress out, would never let me play.
Yeah. Must have been a big nuisance for the rest of the team.
Well, they didn't win a game.
They needed their number one.
They didn't win a game.
Yeah.
They
missed you.
They were giving up a lot defensively.
I bet.
Opposing teams.
I bet you that must have been a really tough decision for that coach.
Opposing teams were
the coach like, how can we get him off the team?
They're like, this is perfect.
This is perfect scenario. He likes hockey. Okay, this is what we'll do. Let's kick him off now. Oh, it's kind of sad.
Come on, dude. That put me in
good.
a bad situation.
No, I know, man.
They should
I don't
never
want you
put
to-
a kid
I
in
did-
that situation.
No, it's a learning curve.
And I
dude.
didn't
You
have
weren't that
anyone
good.
at home to like turn to help me like navigate.
That's
through
true.
it. So,
I get
like,
you on that, man.
I just had to like do it on my own, dude.
Yeah, I know. A lot of kids do, man. It's all good.
Yeah,
you
oh
came
my
out
God.
of
I
it.
never complained about it,
No,
man.
I know you
it
didn't.
made me stronger,
Yeah, that's
dude.
exactly right. So everybody complains about everything. Like, man, we all went through shit. We all eat a shit sandwich, dude, in our own way. We do.
Sometimes
You got
gotta,
problems.
like-
I got problems. Brody's got problems. Brody sniffs every damn day like he's doing blow all night. He doesn't even drink. He's the most sober guy in the league. And look at him, the poor guy. He can't even breathe.
It's like snorting. He's like sniffling.
If I come in here sniffling, you know I got down
We
with
still
it.
keep like 6 feet distance in here because of it.
He gets COVID all the time still.
Like, can we get him tested?
See what he's got to go through?
But so anyway, so I've been through that, and again, the other team. I think the teams we played against, the opposing team's quarterback rating was like broke records that year.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Because
what's going on with hockey?
Because I wasn't.
What's going on with
I
hockey?
wasn't on the field.
What's going on with the hockey game?
Defending.
What's going on with the news in hockey?
What do you want to talk about?
Well, what does Brody got for our notes here? Let's see. We got to break down a little bit of hockey. We got everything else.
Well, what do you have
Jesus.
for me? What do you want to know?
Well, aren't you the guy? Like, what am I? Jesus Christ.
Sometimes I want to know what you have.
I
You
mean, well, I don't know.
know. Let's see here. Flyers fire their GM. Yeah, they did.
All right, why don't you get him on?
Cliff Fletcher. Oh, right now. We'll wait a little bit on that.
I'm just asking.
Wait a little bit on that. The Flyers, to me, they're just lacking that identity, man, that personality.
They don't
Like,
know
who
what
are
they
they? What are they? They got the coach. Now, Danny Briere, man, he's been a guest on the show, and he was great
What
when
a
he came on with us.
sweetheart of a human being.
And I hear other people kind of like chirping him.
Really?
Yeah.
Like what?
Well, he's just so soft-spoken. He's never
Oh, I love
like Torts is going to run all over him.
Maybe.
You know what?
Maybe.
Just when you think that, you may be wrong, dude.
You're right, man. He's a tough little son of a bitch.
He is.
Played a long time.
So don't assume that like Torts is going to run over anybody.
I know. And don't assume that he's not going to put his foot down, Danny
That's what
Briere.
I'm talking about.
Like, wait a minute. I might be soft-spoken, but I make the rules here.
That's right.
So shut the fuck
And
up.
he wants that GM job, the permanent GM job.
Yeah,
So
I
right
want
now
him to
he's
have it.
interim. So if
I
you
want
think
him
he's
to
going to
have
go in there and get the job by getting walked on by Torts, that ain't fucking
You
happening.
played freaking 20 years in the league. No one's walking on you. Don't ever let anybody walk on you.
You see McDavid and Matthews almost fight the
Yeah,
other day.
yeah, I
Who
saw
wins that fight?
Nobody.
Oh, McDavid. I got McDavid.
Nobody wins.
Really? You think it's a draw?
I think them fighting is a not a win. I don't want them fighting.
Well,
each
I don't
other.
want them fighting either.
That's what
But
I
the
said,
reality
man.
is they just came together in
No,
a
they
game,
ain't gonna throw
and
a
they're
punch.
slashing sticks out of
They ain't
each
gonna
other's
throw a
hands.
It's going to be like
So
it's
if
gonna
they
be like,
were to fight, who wins?
It's nobody. It's going to be like the Reaver fight the other day, where there's
Oh
five.
my God.
Jesus, Reaver! How about you let him? He threw a bomb. He missed you. You guys squared off for 20 gosh dang minutes. He throws a bomb, he misses you. Let him come back up and go. You put him down, you start laughing, you make fun of him. But, like, get him back up. Like, the refs aren't jumping in. Like, pull him back up and go. Throw some punches. You didn't fight Lucic the other night. And I'm like, okay, everybody wants to, like, do that. Now, this kid wants to go you. There's fights out the wazoo that game. I love Minnesota, by the way. I love our boy, Big Marcus.
Without Caprice.
I want Big Marcus on this gosh dang podcast. Big Marcus Foligno.
And Marc-Andre Fleury's actually playing some good hockey.
I like
right
Marc-Andre Fleury doesn't put up with any shit either. But, like, Reaver, you're fighting this cat. He's a big, tough, young kid. Like, go him. I know he threw a bomb and he fell, but let him back up and go him.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I love both. I love Reaver, man, but I just, he doesn't want to do it. But then you're laughing at the guy. It's just like, throw a punch.
I didn't like that.
Throw a punch.
Yeah, what's going on there?
Because he doesn't want to get hit. And it's like, you square off with this guy for 20 minutes.
He looked to be a little, like, unsure about what's this guy
Who is
gonna
this kid?
do?
Who is that big old kid? Big old kid.
He doesn't want to get embarrassed like that. He don't want to lose to him.
That kid threw a bomb on him and missed. That was kind of the last time that happened, and Brody, play the clip on this. You got to be careful when you fight guys. Maganji a mama.
So he's fighting.
Big old son bitch. Damn, big boy.
That was a mama.
So anyway, like
Imama, I believe.
So,
if I'm mispronouncing that, man.
So Imama, I know. Sorry about that, dude. Like, we're pumping your tires up anyway. It's all good. But the last time I remember seeing that happen, when you throw a bomb like that off the bat, and Reaver doesn't just come at you. Like, he'll wait and you'll try to grab you. He'll back up. Then he'll get his grip. We've talked about this. I broke him down before. But when you throw a bomb off the bat and you miss, you better not get Aaron Downey'd. Remember that fight with Jesse Bowers?
I remember.
Remember Jesse's like, I'm going to come in a straight right cross on you. No, you're not. Downey backs up, catches him with a left bomb.
Downey told me that was the first time he ever lost.
Good night. Good night. So just watch that.
He had massive hands and a big jaw.
I fought him. We fought for 2.5 minutes.
He was a cool-ass dude.
Love him. Get his ass on, too.
Somebody reach out to me who knows Aaron Downey.
Dude, I know some guys that have his number. 100%. I like getting these guys on, man. So anyway, Reaver, just let the kid come up and fight him, man. We've all been there where we fall off the bat. Like, get back up. Get away. Let's go. We just squared off for 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
You don't throw a punch?
It's kind of like a waste of time.
You don't throw a punch?
Could you imagine going to a game for the first time?
I'd be so pissed. I'd be pissed if I didn't throw a punch.
All right, so Bill Armstrong on this edition of the Cam and Strick podcast,
handsome boy. Billy Boy. Where's that from?
Billy Boy? I don't know. You tell me.
Scary movie. Billy Boy.
Were they up for an Oscar in that movie?
No.
No?
Horrifying. Stephen King.
Ooh, the It.
There you go. Dude.
It's from It. Yeah.
Billy Boy. He's kissing him. God. Oh, God. Is Ty scared of clowns?
Not so far, no. He's never mentioned.
I was never watch scary movies. You don't watch movies. You guys don't even.
My wife
you're so
and the
busy.
girls watch movies all the time.
Okay.
Yes.
I just feel like Andy's so like busy. Like he doesn't have time to do anything. Like you're always on the run. Like you're on the run.
Constantly.
Like just always. Like
constantly.
I'm worried about you tomorrow. Like I'm worried about you going to show up on time. Like I truly think that way because it's always something. Like Andy will be like, Ty's got to tape his stick. Well, is he playing? Like you're going on vacation. Like you got to tape a stick for him. I just worry about you a little bit. That's all.
Well, dude, I gotta get a lot of shit done before I leave to make sure everything's all
so do we
together.
We all do, Andy. You're not separated.
You gotta make sure the dogs are okay.
Yes, I'm going out of town for 2 weeks. I got animals.
Yeah, but your wife's gonna do all that shit, dude.
She needs help. Take 2 dogs in a car. It's fucking crazy. So, Andy thinks he's the only one that does stuff.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
You're bringing it up.
Yeah, because I'm worried about it.
All you have to do is worry about yourself.
No, because I'm in charge of the whole group. So if you're not there, like I'm just worried a little bit.
Well,
just
I'll be
there. All right. I want to have fun with you, man. Like I'm excited about having fun with you. I swear to God.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
I really am. I'm not being a dick. I swear to God. I think that we have a good group of guys going. They're all so excited, man. Everybody's excited about it. So I just want to make sure everything's fucking locked up and we go do our thing, dude. Have some good food. Guys will be chirping, but we'll fucking have to stick up for ourselves a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
It'll be fun.
We'll get chirped a little bit.
Gotta make sure my game's in order.
Yeah, you do. You know?
I'll be all right.
You'll be all right. God, I could feel like, dude, dude, I could not skate for 2 months and just go out there and just fucking go.
There's only 2 games a day, right?
Yeah. Well, we'll do, if we're in a championship, which we should be, we're pretty loaded. And Mike wants to win.
Oh, does
He
he?
loves it.
I'm getting that
And
most.
Wire, John Winsick wants to win.
I'm getting the scoring title too.
$1,000.
I know.
You ain't putting that in your pocket like a
So
cheap
if I'm
son
not
of a-
passing, there's a reason why.
Everybody will know
If
you're
I'm
trying
trying
to
to
get that,
beat the guy a little
Hey,
extra move,
you get $1,000
one-on-one.
cash for the leading scorer. You're making it rain. Now I'm going to give you $300 to put in your pocket for the kids.
Oh,
Do
you
what
are?
you want. I'll let you do
Oh,
that.
after I win.
But if anybody, yeah, because you can keep $300.
I thought you meant just before we get on.
But
the
you got to
plane.
pick up a tab with it. You
As
gotta
like
do
a
something.
per diem. You're
No,
giving me $300.
Because if it's anybody else, like you can keep 300 of it, but you got to make the rest.
300.
You got to make the rest.
Maybe I'll
Already-
spend 300.
You ain't winning anyway.
Yes, I will.
All right, fine.
Who's keeping track?
Oh, we all do. Trust me. Oh yeah,
Well.
Mike does. He has a pen and paper.
Oh,
now.
does he?
Oh yeah.
Is he writing down the assists and everything?
No, we're not doing that, Andy. You ain't gonna get that much.
Can I
ice
give
time
Johnny
anyway.
Quick a big shout out? By the way.
Yeah, I like him, dude.
I mean, L.A., what are you doing? Like, I mean, I understand you got to move this guy,
Yeah.
and you needed a better goaltender, and you got one. So I get all that, but like, I don't know if they thought this whole thing through, where now all of a sudden they may have to go through Johnny Quick in Vegas to get to where that would be unbelievable if we can have Vegas and L.A. play in a
I
Stanley
agree.
Cup playoff
I agree.
series, where Jonathan Quick is the goaltender going up against the Kings.
I agree.
That dude, he just has that ability. You know,
Is he hurt?
He's
Like,
a
has he
Hall
been
of Fame
hurt?
goaltender, man. He can flip that switch. And for him to shut out Carolina and doing some of the shit that he's doing, man, he appears to be locked in. So
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
that could be great theater.
I'm excited
man.
for these players. I want to see the Devils, Rangers. I want to
Yeah.
see Toronto, Tampa
Tarasenko's struggling a little bit.
again.
I don't know, man. He's just not really putting up a whole lot of points right now.
How's Kaner
He
doing?
played 13 minutes the other night. Like, do they make that trade for Tarasenko if they knew they were getting Kane? I don't know.
Well, it depends on what they do in the playoffs, man. They're already in it, so it's such a weird.
Well, he's
time.
going to score some big goals. I told you in the playoffs.
Yeah, I know in the playoffs, not in the regular season. Who cares about?
But he already has in the regular season, too. He
Those
scored an
aren't big
overtime goal.
not big goals. But the point is, who cares? Like, this is such a weird time for teams like that because you just don't want to get hurt. Like, look what happened to Ryan O'Reilly. Like, that's brutal.
Ugh.
You got 20 games.
Dude, that's the
left.
same thing that happened to me. It was my own teammate shot the puck from the point, broke my finger. I sent you the picture the other day. Did you see that?
Yeah.
What my finger looked like?
Yeah, man, you're a warrior.
Can we put that picture up, Brody, of what my finger looked like? Like, so Ryan O'Reilly, he had
So
to have
annoying.
surgery. He had to have surgery.
Yeah, I was talking about that, but you
Yeah, so
interrupted
go
me,
ahead,
man.
Go ahead. I had
Like
to,
you always
well,
do.
I've been
You're a little
there.
worse at that. by the way.
I've really had a.
Yeah, we've all been there, dude.
Still no feeling
Jesus,
in my finger to this
yours
day.
wasn't competitive. You just were in the wrong.
It was
spot.
competitive.
It's a summer league skate, and he brags about getting injured at summer league skates. Anyway, like it just sucks. The last 20 minutes or 20 games of these teams that are already in it, you're just trying not to. Like you got to block that shot, but fuck, you're gonna eat one off the ankle. And you got to do this. Like, it's brutal, man. It's just brutal. You think the Blues have it bad right now, the last 20 games. They're all trying to just show off. But these other teams, man, you're just trying not to get injured. And going into a game thinking about injury, it's just, that's when you get dinged. Dude. It sucks.
But, you know, that's a fluke situation, though. You take a puck off the finger in front of
It
the net.
happens, man. This happens. Blocking shots all the time. And then you get, like, I don't want to block a shot because I don't want to get hurt. But then you get hurt in a different way then, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You get used to not blocking shots, and you go into playoffs.
If you go into a game trying not to get hurt, you're going to
you're
get hurt.
screwed, dude. You're screwed.
So I don't think people are really thinking that. I mean, you're hoping you don't get hurt. Coaches
Well, I'd say the
and
GMs
general
thinking that.
managers are
Yeah.
thinking that.
I think the coaches and GMs are like, oh, God, every time somebody blocks a shot, because you have to do it.
Right.
You're up by 3. You're still blocking shots because you got a stupid penalty.
Like if you're Boston or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, Boston, too. Like, God. Brutal. And some teams are going to drop like flies, dude. Last 3 irrelevant games, something's going to happen. Brutal.
We'll see how this
But
affects
you got to do
Boston.
it. Yeah.
We'll see how this impacts Boston. If they just clinch too quickly, you know? Like, I mean, I don't know. We've seen this in the past. You just never know.
Yeah, you saw with the Blues.
Well, we saw it with Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay, too.
You know, that's
2019.
what I'm referring to.
Columbus Blue Jackets got them.
So we'll see how that whole situation plays out. But Billy Armstrong, man, on this edition of the Chemistry Podcast, I think people will enjoy this. You know, he's an integral figure in the trade deadline that we just saw and everything else that's going on. We just had a lot of questions of what's happening with the Arizona Coyotes.
Yeah, he was great.
You know, how'd the Chikrin deal go down? Like, what's really happening? What's going on?
Yeah.
And he pretty much answered everything, dude. So I think people will enjoy this. Cam, as always, the Cam and Strick podcast is brought to you by Hair Club.
Yeah, baby.
800-279-7878, hairclub.com. Check it out. Go there today. Get that evaluation. Go to our landing page, camandstrick.com, or hairclub.com/camandstrick. Hairclub.com/camandstrick. Go there today and see all the solutions and different options they have for you. There is an option for everybody.
There is, man. And I'm getting my procedure done in April.
Oh, are you?
No, it's May. It's going to be May 5th on a Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it, dude. Let's just do it. So I'm pretty excited about that.
So is it just like a one-time?
Yeah. I was
Really?
going there and those pluck out, and they'll put them in like, and then they'll give me a pill, and then like the rest of my hair on my head will grow faster.
Oh, so you're going to go with the pill.
No, I'm doing both.
So you really only go one time, that's it?
Yeah, one surgery, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, in and out, 2 hours.
And
boom.
you don't have to stay the night, nothing like that?
No, hell no. Nah.
Are you going to be in significant like discomfort, you think? Or you'll be
No,
okay?
it ain't bad. It ain't bad. I've been through a lot of surgeries and stuff. This ain't bad at all.
Wow. Well, I can't wait to hear about this.
Well, yeah.
So May 5th,
Yeah, May 5th.
do you need a ride there or anything? Or
Well, that's the thing. My mom used to do that.
yeah,
The last time I did it, she drove me.
yeah. Well,
It's
let me
very
know.
nice.
Let me know. I could
Kate
probably,
was working at
I
that
could
time.
probably take you and stuff like that. Cam.
All right.
I could probably take you. I'll pick you up. I'll sign you out.
Good.
Do you know years ago
Brought me all the way off to St. Albans. Okay.
there was a player for the New York Islanders, and he had a hernia surgery here in St. Louis, and he was not playing in St. Louis, but he had the surgery done by a doctor here in St. Louis, and I get a call that they would not release him from the hospital.
Jeez.
So I had to go to the hospital and sign him out, and then take him
normal.
to the hospital.
Take him home, man.
Take him back to the hotel.
Yeah, that's normal.
Yeah, I never even met the player before.
Yeah. So they had you do the
Yeah.
little dirty work.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah. Yeah, but you can't drive, man. He's on painkillers. Not allowed to drive.
Yeah, you can't drive. They wouldn't let him walk across. The hotel was across the street. They won't
Nice.
allow. They
Fucking
won't
abdominal
release you.
surgery.
They won't release you.
He had surgery. Like, he can't walk either.
Oh, that's true. No, he did walk. He walked to the car when I picked him up.
All right.
I mean, it wasn't
Well,
like
you should have carried his ass in. What do you mean do?
hell of a player too. I won't say who it is right now, but a hell of a player.
I know who it is.
Do you?
Islander player, Dougie Waite.
No, I didn't know the player. I said.
Oh, then no, I don't know.
I mean, a well-known name. I know him now, but
He played for the Blues and the Islanders?
didn't play for the Blues.
Oh, he played for the Islanders. Oh, I don't know. Jesus.
Fast.
They made you go pick up a different player from a
yeah,
different
isn't
team?
that hilarious? So I
Said that
said,
to you.
hey, before you get out of the car, we got to take a picture. And I put it up
Who
on
is it?
Twitter.
Who is it?
Michael Grabner.
Yeah. Nice guy.
Switzerland, I think he's from.
Oh, nice. Beautiful. Sniffy. What the fuck's wrong with you now?
Dude, my
Jeez,
allergies.
dude.
Oh, and the daylight savings time, which
Oh,
completely
my
just
God,
rocked
that's
my
fucking
world.
brutal. Man, getting up early. Just the sun just doesn't come up quick, dude.
I messed up on television last night too, which I'm not saying that I don't ever, everyone makes mistakes, but this type of mistake I just don't normally make. Like nobody really, but not one person commented. It wasn't during the game. It was like early
you
in the
do?
pregame show, so no one really
What'd you do?
just kind of like messed up.
With what?
Like saying the Vegas Golden, like Ivan Barbershop. I'm so used to him being on the Blues, just a couple weeks ago.
You said he was from the Blues?
No, I couldn't think of the name of the team that he plays for. Like the
Oh,
Vegas
so
Golden Knights.
I didn't
dude.
notice it. You're all right.
Oh, did you see that?
No, I didn't notice it.
Okay, good. No one mentioned it, so.
It's all good, man. Don't worry about that shit.
All right, so go check it out. You know that Hair Club, our title sponsor. We love everybody over there at Hair Club, and I'm looking forward to hearing
Yeah,
how your
I'm excited
experience
about it.
goes.
Yeah. Dude, I need it done, man.
Cam, I'll be right there with you
You're all right.
if you need anything.
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah. No, you won't be.
Oh, you looked
I'm
at me
not
like you looked at my hair.
Well, I'm not gonna rely on you to pick me up anytime. You crazy?
First Form and firstform.com.
Get there
Cam.
5 hours late.
Oh, you think so? I'll be there.
I
I'm
know.
always on time, dude.
Okay. We'll worry about
When
it.
am I ever late?
Whatever, man. It's all good.
No, name a time.
You're late today.
I
What the
wait.
hell are you talking about?
Still got here
Let me look at
before
my
you.
text messages. I'm gonna run a little late. Ty's got something. The wife's at yoga. That like what? Like it's every day. What are you talking about?
I'm never late.
You do everything. You need to like
I do
Helper. God.
helper. I do everything. And then you say helper.
It's like, you need a helper.
Oh, I need a helper.
Yes. You need a helper.
We
I'm
have
running late. I got she's at the wineries. I got things to do.
the wineries. Firstform and firstform.com,
Yeah.
Cam. How was your dinner with
Man,
Nick?
it was so lovely. Nick and his lovely
Sorry
wife.
I couldn't make it there. Listen,
Little shout
hey,
out to
all y'all
Alvin,
out
though.
there, can I explain something? Cam,
Well, you asked me a question.
yeah,
and
but
you
this
just,
is what he does.
He's just crazy.
He plans dinner. And because Cam can't stay awake past like 7 o'clock
Yeah.
at night, which we'll see how this goes in Nashville. I mean, is this guy going to be able to stay awake? Who
Okay,
knows?
right.
But anyway, he's like, we're meeting at like 5:30 or
No,
6 o'clock
6 o'clock.
on a Friday.
6:15.
I'm like, well, Ty's got practice till 6:20, so I can
bad.
be there by like 7:30. But like,
No, I'm not doing that.
that's when people meet for dinner
Dude,
on a
place
Friday
was, place
night.
was packed.
7:30.
Packed. It's packed when we got on
You
there.
want to meet at 6 o'clock?
Olive and
You're like
Oak.
an old person.
My boy
dude.
Chrissy Pondoff, family owns it. Love you, homeboy. God, the food was so damn good. Nikki, he ate. We sat there, shot the shit, talked about all kinds of stuff, man. And I go, Nikki boy, he ate a lot of food, Andy.
Did he? Good.
And he didn't put it in his app.
Oh, he didn't?
He did not.
Why are you
I-
trying to call him out like that?
Well, because he's the most disciplined guy in the world. And like he ate a lot of stuff.
They
And I was
may
waiting for him.
Take
I'm waiting for him to
weed whacker to him.
I'm going to. How dare he? And he's the sweetest couple in the world. Chrissy Pondoff and his lovely wife. We had such a good time. But we were eating all kinds of different stuff. Man, they have such
No, their
good
menu's
food.
very diverse.
Oh, it's
dude.
so cool. Like
That's one of our
octopus
Yeah. Oh,
to
yeah.
this, to that, to that. So I'm just looking over there, and he wasn't writing anything in to
Did
his
you
app.
use a gift card?
Yeah,
Oh my
I
god!
paid for all his stuff.
What was the bill?
Ours was probably like 3 something.
Yeah, it's one of our favorite spots. We
So-
go there
and
on a
Chrissy
regular
picked
basis.
up like all the appetizers and stuff like that. So it's probably like
Okay.
$600.
Yeah, my buddy Mark owns it.
It's a lot.
I don't know. There's like some investors and stuff like that. But
That place is
but my buddy
looks like it's in L.A.
But my buddy
Should be
Mark,
in L.A.
you know, there's 2 families. One was named Oliver. One was named Oak.
Oh, really?
And they met in the hospital when both of them were having heart procedure. That's why you see the heart and stuff like that all over the wall
Yeah.
and everything.
Yeah.
And both the kids like passed away, I believe.
Oh, really?
And that's where the parents met in the hospital. They came together. They opened up this restaurant.
It's so nice.
Mark was already in the restaurant business, running a different restaurant that's well known here in St. Louis called Annie Guns. He was
Annie
running
Guns,
that,
baby. Yep.
and they came together and they got a bunch of investors from Webster, who from the neighborhood, who are part investors. I'm sure that's one of your buddies and
Yeah.
whatever. So I mean, yeah, it's a family-owned business, dude. It's an
love it.
incredible restaurant. I've taken foodies there who are like from out of
Yeah.
town, who are the biggest food
Yep.
snobs ever,
Yep, yep.
and they're like, dude, this
It's
is
good.
one of the best
Yep.
restaurants I've ever been to.
It's diverse. I just love unique. Just not crazy. Like I'll eat anything, dude. I'll go to fucking. I told you, I'll go to Indonesia and try shit. Not like bugs and stuff, but like I'll
Did
eat.
you eat pig's feet?
God, yes. I'll eat anything off a pig.
That's a Jamaican staple, you know.
I will eat anything off a pig. You roast that pig head to toe.
You'll eat
I'll eat
anything.
anything on that son of a
good.
bitch.
Okay.
God dang right. A
All right.
full roasted pig. Oh, dang good.
The bottom line is, though, first formed, and then you have. It's so easy to get back on track.
It is. He's probably still working out.
Really?
He ate a lot of food, man.
That's okay, man.
And he's cool. Like you look at Nick and you're like, damn, like, does he drink? Dude, he was crushing beer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's, I just, no, but he was totally cool. Like, he was
Good.
just like,
Well, yeah.
my point is like, you can still look like him.
Mhm.
You're beautiful, by the way. Good God. I was looking at Kate like, over here, Kate. I'm here. But but for him, like, you could go to you work hard, man, and you're disciplined. Like, you can go eat like we did and fuck eat all the, me and him are like, blah, 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 and go, and you work out the next day, you jot everything down. So now you know you got to do a little extra shit. Maybe you got to stay on that fucking cardio machine a little bit more. And then you even yourself back out and you had a damn good meal. You're not worried about the next day. Just do a little extra work.
Yeah.
Balance your diet out the rest of the week and you're good to go. That's my point.
We might be like hooking up our guests and stuff like that with some shit. for
Half.
first form.
Oh, by the way, Nikki's sending down.
Oh, good.
Yeah, he already sent
to
it down.
Nashville.
Yeah, already
Good.
sent down all goodies
Ah.
for all the boys.
We're gonna
Andy.
have so much shit.
Oh, we're
Yeah.
we're Chris
Yeah.
Kringle.
yeah.
When we
yeah.
walk in this place with all these other teams, Andy,
Yeah.
we might shit kick everybody, but we're gonna hook everybody up with
yeah.
entertainment, First Form stuff. We got all kinds of cool
energy drinks,
whatever they
the
want.
fruits, the greens,
Yes.
the bars, which are incredible, man. This is the way you get your life back on track. Again, you don't have to work out. You don't have to spend 2-3 hours in the gym every day to look good and to feel good. You know, but if you balance your life,
you can balance it.
You know, around what the way First Form can just help you kind of structure your busy lifestyle. Their app is incredible. You got to download the app. So check out that app and
great stuff.
And use our link when you order anything. Their apparel is incredible. The exercise apparel. They got stuff for men, women. They've got stuff for kids. Check it out. Firstform.com/Cam and Strick. Go there and go there today. Firstform.com/Cam and Strick. You didn't bring me your skates, by the way.
No, they're okay. I went and saw Bruce Affleck in the alumni room the other day. Got all my stuff.
Is he like the skate inspector?
Well, I just picked up all my stuff.
Well, you didn't get your skates sharpened.
Andy, they're okay. I'll be fine.
So if you're losing an edge, you can't play on my line. I'm telling you, because that's going to impact. No, that's going to impact my ability to lead the team in scoring.
Yeah, not spend the money. Oh, that'd be cool.
Not spend.
Like you gotta understand, like you want to take care of the boys.
Mm-hmm.
You want them to like you and stuff, and you get invited next year and stuff. Yeah. So if you're the guy that's not going to spend the money, you're not going to win it anyway. But you might. But if you're like, oh, I get my money, I'm going to go home and keep it. And put it under my pillow.
Keep it.
The guys are going to be like, go fuck yourself. You know?
What if somebody else wins it and doesn't make it rain?
Like who?
I don't know.
Like who?
Somebody.
It doesn't work that way. You're the only one I'm worried about doing that. So it's all good.
Don't be trying to take my assists away from me and stuff like that.
Okay.
Okay? Like if I get the assist, don't be like.
Assists mean nothing.
You ever play with that guy when you were a kid?
Yeah.
Who's like running up to the ref?
Of course, man.
Like
he looked like you.
18.
He looked like you.
Oh, I had a dude who did that. His dad was the team manager. He used to
team manager.
Oh yeah, and he used to take my name off of there and put his kid on there. Fucking drive me crazy.
Yoink. That's why you didn't make the show.
There's people like that, dude.
That's why you didn't make the show. Yeah.
Because
that guy.
If I just had a couple more assists,
I know you would have made it, dude. It's like football. You would have made it. You didn't get hurt.
I would not have made it in football.
You don't think?
No.
You sure with the body you have?
I don't think so.
Really?
I don't think I would have.
Interesting.
It's hard, dude.
Yeah. What about being a Marine or something?
No.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I could not have. I don't think I could handle that.
No, you couldn't. I was joking.
Do you know that I saw in military training that they mace you?
Of course, man. Police training, too.
Police training also. You get maced. And then they got to go, finish the training, the whatever.
Yeah, I know.
Dude, I don't know about all that, man.
Yeah, we know that you don't know about it. You're type B personality.
Sparks, though, man, I do know that. I know skate sharpening, and I know when my skates feel good, and I know when they don't. But I don't have that feeling of my skates not feeling good too often nowadays, Cam, because I got my own Sparks machine in the house. We're sharpening Ty's skates. His skates are always in good shape. And mine are too, man. I won't have any issue whatsoever. And I'm trying to explain to people how important this is, Cam, to go ahead and get the Sparks. And I'm trying, dude. You
want Seth to do it? Is that what you're asking me? You want little dinky boy Seth?
No.
Sitting in his gosh dang basement?
No, you don't want that.
Eating pot pies with crust all over his belly button. Hot Pockets, burning his mouth at 3 o'clock in the morning, drinking Mountain Dew Code Red, playing video games against 10-year-olds, yelling at him. And then he's going to sharpen your skates?
He's going to work the next day.
He's sniffling like fucking Brody? No. He's sharpening. He's giving you COVID, and he's screwing your skates up.
Yeah, you don't want that. But get the Sparks, man. Use that promo code Cam and Strick. You're going to save more money than you save on Black Friday or Cyber Monday. It is truly a game changer. Honestly, if you're a hockey player, you have a kid that's a player, you're a men's league player, no excuse, man.
It's easy.
Almost every team in the NHL is traveling with a Sparks machine. I saw one again last night. So they are everywhere. So get that Sparks and get it today. SPARX. Again, the promo code is Cam and Strick. Oh, my God. Bellman. The allergies are terrible here, just so you know. All right, Bellman and Bellman.com, BEHLMANN.com. Troy, Missouri, you got the Buick, the GMC on one side of the street, the Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram on the other side. They've got something for everybody, Cam. The best selection you're going to find anywhere is right there with Bellman and Bellman.com. Say hi to Danny Boy.
Hey, Danny Boy, what up, homie?
Say hi to Dale.
Dale. Get on with yourself.
Say hi to Kenny again.
Hi, Kenny. That there's Kenny. Hey, dude.
Hey, get that Jeep, man. Cam's looking at that pink Jeep, 2 doors, small wheels, soft top, flames on the side.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. They got sushi there, Cam. When you go out there, you can take your.
Why waste your breath on that?
Well, you can take your wife there. Just let her.
Well, you can
shop
take your
on her
wife
own.
there. She's not gonna eat gosh dang sushi, but she's gonna have a good time and a nice experience because there's no swinging dicks coming out there bragging about how they beat me up in high school, which they didn't.
Yeah.
Which they didn't.
There's probably a quarterback. Well, you know.
I used to play quarterback at Eureka. And Cam, I used to just kick his ass all the time. She's like, what? I'm looking at that Buick.
Mm-hmm.
Can't I look at the Buick?
I'm just out here in Troy.
I'm telling you, I used to kick his ass. What's he doing now? I never heard from him much. And, you know,
I'm just here in Troy.
I've just been here in Troy, and I used to shit kick him. Oh, okay, sir. Thank you. Can I look at that Buick?
So get to Bellman today. BEHLMANN.com. Cam, I'll be bringing my gel sticks, by the way. I'll be training prior to the games.
You should.
And so how's that puck going to feel on my stick after training with the gel sticks for about an hour
Even
before?
for you, it'll be light, man. Even for you, it'll be light.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, like I told you, kids could do it.
You're going to be like, what's the difference? What's the difference?
You don't feel like there's a puck there. It feels like a golf ball.
Gel sticks is amazing. GELSTX. They got a lot of NHL players that train using a gel sticks. So you should check that out and check it out today. They got the lacrosse ones as well. They also have golf training
It all works,
clubs.
Man. It
all through
works.
gel sticks. Well, it's like a weighted stick is what it is.
Yeah,
Cam.
so you just feel like there's nothing. You're hitting nothing. It's great. Toe dragging cougars.
It's like when you're on the on-deck circle playing baseball, you put that donut on your bat when you're taking your swings.
Exactly.
Ty starts baseball practice tomorrow night, dude. Baseball season's here.
Good.
So.
You'll get bored of that.
You think?
Yeah.
He loves baseball, dude.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
More than hockey?
No.
I was going to say, hockey's just, there's so much going on. Like, it's so much more fun to play.
Yeah.
You're in charge of your shift.
Yes.
You're not waiting on other things. Like, you're in charge of whatever you want to do.
Yeah. Baseball,
Hockey.
you're just like, okay, are they going to
I got to wait. Is he going
to
to throw it 5 feet left? Like, is he going
Right.
to throw it out? Like, and I just have to
stand here and take a
stand
walk?
here and I got to wait.
Yeah.
Hockey, you're like, I'm going to go do things.
Mm-hmm. But gel sticks,
am I going to
man,
hit somebody? Am I
check
going to go
out
get the puck?
check out gelsticks.com, GELSTX. Check it out today. Great partner we have here on the Cam and Strick podcast. Man, we love our partnership with all our sponsors. We thank our sponsors. Anybody who wants to be on our team, man, feel free to reach out.
Reach out to us and give us again. We talked about it earlier. If you guys want to give questions out, ask us questions about anything. Like we'll if you want to say your name, we will. If you don't, we'll pump you up. I don't give a fuck. You don't want to be discreet. All good, homies.
Right.
But we'll answer anything.
Anything.
I don't give a shit.
Just like
how
Billy
open I am.
Armstrong, man.
Yeah, Billy.
He answered everything.
Everything.
On this edition of the Cam and Strick podcast.
y'all.
Enjoy Bill Armstrong. Hairclub.com, baby.
Oh, you're damn right.
Go to our landing page today, hairclub.com/Cam and Strick. Regrow, restore, and replace that hair.
Don't wait.
Now to the interview.
Hello.
Billy.
What is going on?
What's
Oh
up,
my
big
God.
boy?
Do you wear a suit on off days too? One of your $2,000 suits?
No, I do look fairly nice though going into the office. So I don't know why I do that, but I do that. So I feel like if I'm going to war, I'm bringing a gun. If I'm going to the office, I'm looking pretty good. So
Hey, what's the weather like there today? It's kind of been
Can I
cold
guess?
this off season. What is your guess?
Yeah, it's been cold. It's been rainy a little bit, but it's getting into the 80s this week. So this is prime time. From now till pretty much the end of May is prime time right now.
How do you handle
How
do you handle the summers when it's like 120?
Oh man, I've never experienced that type of heat, and we're in contract negotiation. You're either doing negotiations against with your staff or with your players. So it is grueling. It just keeps going and running all summer long. So if you can get out for the month of August, most people don't stay around here for the entire summer. Everybody's got a plan to escape the heat.
Yeah. How's your setup there, man? There's a lot of options. Find out. Are you living by Clayton Keller on the mountainside, or
is he your neighbor?
I live in the servants' quarters with Clayton's house. So I'm, so he gives me free room and board there. So it's great.
CK9.
Yeah. No, we live over in Paradise Valley, so it's a pretty good setup for us to get to the rink and the practice facility. It's a better option we had with Glendale. Glendale was 45 minutes away. This is at most 20 minutes away. So it's a great setup that we have.
That's Billy, nice. You go back 20 years ago or 25 years, like you're trying to figure out like what you're gonna do. You start coaching. You played for a long time. Did you ever see this? Like, did you think you'd be an NHL general manager? Like, was that your vision?
No. I got out and I was in coaching, and I had a guy come in to my office in the East Coast League. And he was scouting for the Rangers at the time, and I just thought, I'm gonna look into that, because I was done with coaching. I don't know how to explain it, but I was done, and I didn't really want to move the family around. And so I went back to Rhode Island, where I was living at the time, Providence, Rhode Island, and I figured out that, hey, listen, you can scout out of here, and never have to move your family. And so I started asking questions, and I couldn't get any job. Nobody would hire me. They were going to a lockout at the time. So I just set up my hockey schools and just crushed it in the summer. And I made enough money in the summer. I didn't have to work all winter. And I got a strange call at the end of the summer from Peter Laviolette, and said, I'm working with Larry Plow at the World Cup of Hockey, and their scout just left in that area. So I'm going to hook you guys up or whatever. And I went for an interview with Jarmo Kekalainen, and I met him in Toronto. So it just kind of played itself out. And I've done almost every job in the business, including selling tickets one summer for the Providence Bruins.
Oh, really?
That's what Cam's doing now.
I'm starting that up now, actually. So yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
It's great to see all different sides of it. I think that the one probably strength of mine is when I got into the interview process to become a GM, I didn't realize that I had all those little things that you need along the way. And I don't think it was planned. It was just, I really enjoyed working in hockey in different areas, from playing to being assistant coach, to being a head coach, to being a GM of a team. And then I went back in my businesses and learned about organization and managing people, and then got into scouting, so it's just played itself out. But I'm pretty comfortable in almost any room I can go in, whether it's a coaching, talk to the coaches or the players or the scouting staff or the development staff. I'm pretty comfortable in almost any room.
Yeah, I know you grinded in the minors too, and rode the bus and did all that. But which is, it's not easy to do. Playing 3-3, you're fighting guys, so like you have been through a lot. But the coaching thing, I know you like. Why? I feel like God, you again, just relaying what I just said. Like, I'm sure you could relate to the guys. Why didn't you like coaching?
I did. I felt like I was going to law school. I guess I learned everything about it. I tried to master as much as I could. I was around really good guys like Peter Laviolette. They were tremendous inspirations. Just to be around those guys and kind of learn from them. And but I got to a certain point, I don't know. I wanted to move on to something else. I was kind of done with the coaching aspect of it. And I think I learned what I needed to. That way, when I go in and talk to our coaches, I can, work with them, not only to get good players for them, but to kind of understand where they're at. So, and then it was on to the next. And I really enjoy the coaching aspect, but I don't know. I was burnt out, I think, and at the time I didn't want to move my family around North America to continue coaching.
So Peter Laviolette, like it's always interesting, Billy, because like people are connected together all over the place, like in hockey. It doesn't matter what sport it is. So like, how far back do you and Peter go? And like, what's that relationship like? I mean, like who are some guys that have had the real impact on you besides the obvious ones who you've worked for? You know?
Yeah, it's interesting. So Peter Laviolette had probably one of the biggest impacts, because we were D partners in the American League coming up in Providence, and we were good friends. And he was just a heck of a leader down there in the American League. So, and just playing with him, and I was done. I remember I was a captain of the Providence Bruins. We had a terrible year. I was driving down 95. I knew it was over. I knew I had to drop down a level. and I wasn't going to do that. So I remember crying because I'm like, oh man, I got to go sell cars for my father-in-law at the time. And I'm like, oh God, and I came up with a full, like this plan, like, I had enough money in the bank to get the family through till September. So I'm like, I'm not going to sell cars until that money runs completely out. And so about 3/4 of the way through the summer, the reporter called me and said, hey, your boy, Peter Laviolette's going to get the job. So I picked up the phone and I left a message at his house and just said, hey, listen, I'll be there on the first day of training camp. I'm your new assistant coach. And he called me back, I think about a week and a half later, and just said, yeah, that works.
Wow. You hired yourself.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so I hired myself, and then I came in. He says, "You still got to play." So I think I was the last player coach in the history of the American Hockey League.
Wow.
Really?
So yeah, and I only played like 11 games or whatever, but yeah. So I ended up, just we were so good as a team. I got a way to get out of kind of playing, and Cam, you know what it's like when you're fighting every night. You're at the end. It's guys are rolling in like George Laraque, and you're like, oh my God, and it's fun when you're doing it at the start. When you're at the end of the career and you get two kids in the stands and you're making $45,000 and there's not an end in sight, you're just like, oh, it's definitely changed when you're not going to make the NHL. So for me, it was a way that I looked around on every bench in the American League, and every guy that had the assistant coaching job usually played in the NHL. So I knew I was pretty privileged at that point. And what I did was I didn't play in a lot of situations as a player, and I studied film all day. Every day, everybody went home from the rink, and I just studied power play, PK, and just continued learning. And Peter was an excellent coach, so I learned as much as I could from him.
Player coach. Was that weird in the locker room, like trying to balance that?
It was. I was a completely good guy. The guys loved me because I was the captain the year before. So they knew that I would fight and whatever I would do, anything it took to win. So they had a lot of respect for me. I was like, and I was that bridge between Peter and the players, and I could always get the message across to them, and they trusted me. But I remember being in a meeting where the line crossed, and we got into this heated argument with a player, and Peter said, yeah, even Army thinks this about you. And that was the moment it changed. I got on the other side of the fence.
Yeah, I was waiting.
I'm like, oh God, I'm over on the other side now. So
no, I remember I was doing broadcasting in the UHL. Jim Montgomery was a player coach.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, it's like they're playing, but then they're coaching at the same time. Hey, where'd you grow up, Billy? Like, what was life like for you, like growing up and like coming up and playing hockey and all that? Like, were you obsessed with the game? Was it all about hockey for you?
Yeah, because my dad was from Perry Sound, the home of Bobby Orr. So my dad, he was big into the hockey, and I was just surrounded by it. And I grew up in this suburb of Toronto, on a street where 3 of us got drafted to the OHL off the street, and 2 got drafted into the NHL. So on this little street, it was just a war, and everybody was much older than me. And I can remember thinking, man, I'm not that good. Like, like as a kid growing up, I got crushed and everything. You were 2 years older than me, but at the time you couldn't figure out. So, and then, when you start playing kids your own age, you realize, okay, I'm fairly decent at this. So, but yeah, it was a great, my dad ran a tow truck company. He had a junkyard. He was an entrepreneurial guy. He's a blue collar hustler. He snowplowed, whatever it took. I worked 24/7. There was no hobbies. It was just work. And I got to go to work with him. And that was probably my biggest learning tool, was my father and his work ethic, and just how he kind of navigated the world, and just going to work with him, as a kid was just, I learned more in the seat of a tow truck than I probably ever learned in a classroom.
Yeah, but you're also probably like, yeah, I don't want to do this. I want to do something else. Right?
Hey, that's exactly what I learned.
Yeah,
that's exactly what I learned. He had a passion for like cars and stuff like that, and I didn't have that at all.
Yeah.
And it really, the tow truck business is a tough business. There's a lot of in Toronto at the time. There was a lot of bikers working. It was a tough business. So my dad was a pretty tough guy too. So. They dealt with cash back in the day. So the only way you could control the business was a little bit of fear. So they all feared my dad when they went to work. And it was a pretty interesting place to kind of grow up because, our house was pretty nice in Richmond Hill. It was, suburbs and, your average living. But when you went to work, it was a different environment that I went to work with my dad in, and you realized what he had to go through to kind of make ends meet.
Collect that money.
Richmond Hill. That's where Bennington's from, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know if I ever told you this story, but my dad was from Parry Sound, and they had this huge billboard when you came into Parry Sound. It said, "The home of Bobby Orr." And I said as a kid, one day you're going to roll into Richmond Hill, and it's going to say Richmond Hill, the home of Bill Armstrong. So there we are, going up to my Stanley Cup party in Richmond Hill, and my buddies are all throwing this massive party for me. We pull into town, and on the outskirts of Richmond Hill, it says Richmond Hill, the home of Jordan Binnington.
He took it right away from you. Hey, listen, people.
Yeah, I did, but I took great pride in knowing that I helped him get there at that point.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
Good, yeah.
We'll get into that. Hey, listen, people may not even know, like the hardcore hockey people do, but like you scored the game-winning goal in the Memorial Cup, like 30 years ago now. And it was kind of like the unsung hero. People probably didn't expect you to score the goal, but like even to this day, like that's got to stick with you, right? Do people ever remind you about that when you're around, like at the draft and stuff like that, when you're around the hardcore hockey people?
Yeah, because in Canada it never went away. It was like I was like the Mike Eruzione of Oshawa. They had won in 40 some odd years, and the game was such hype because Lindros was in there, and he was like the Nets, Gretzky and Lemieux coming through. And we played outside of Toronto. We played the Kitchener Rangers in the finals, and it went to double overtime. So it was like one of the biggest junior games probably in the history of Canada. So it was pretty hyped up, and it was an interesting event to go through because I scored probably 3 goals my entire career, and our coach was really good. He was advanced, and he was honest just about getting pucks on net. That was his big thing, and we'd work on it every day. And I can remember I saw the puck being rimmed, and my guy took off to go to center, and I thought, I can get to that puck. And so when I got to the puck, I held it in at the blue line. I just took a little wrist shot, just got it on net, and I took off the other way, because I was so afraid that it was going to hit something and the guy was going to go on a breakaway. I chased him, and when I got like a couple strides out, I heard, and I thought selfishly to myself, like, wow, I think I might have got the assist on the winning goal, and it was a very team in Oshawa. It formed a lot of what I do today and how I build teams. It came from that team and just the people that were on it. I'll tell you a quick story. There was a picture of me holding the Memorial Cup in the dressing room, and we had a reunion. It was this beautiful new dressing room. Same trainer there when we grew up in Oshawa, and all the guys walked in. And the team was so upset that there was only one picture of me holding the Memorial Cup. They had a rally and took the picture off the wall right there. They were upset. We're a damn team. How does he get his picture up there on the wall with the
scored a winning goal?
That's how you
sit
do
your
it.
ass down and
exactly.
scored a winning goal. Hey,
the teammates are past that.
Yeah, no, they want to be in that. But okay, we've had Big Eric Lindros on the pod, but how was he? I mean, was he just he couldn't go anywhere? I mean, he's a man amongst boys. Like, how was he as a guy?
Well, first of all, he was a monster. Like, just at 16, you just don't see human beings built like that. And I was older. I was at the time 19, turning 20. I was about 225 pounds, and I was the king of the ring in the dressing room. I owned I was the big man on campus as far as the fighters. And the boys set it up. They wanted me to go and like a big UFC match, to start it when he first came. And I didn't respect him. And he literally picked me up and slammed me. And I was amazed at his strength. I was like, well, I got to tie the second one through, I think, but he was a strong man, and his work ethic was incredible. Like, he just the hardest, it wasn't natural. People think it was natural. This guy worked, man. He had an ice rink at home. He'd do one-timers before he came into practice. I mean, he worked, so we always loved the respect. And when he joined the team, he wasn't the best player because he was so young. We had older guys in the team that played. But what he did was he drew attention to our team. Like, we were like rock stars all of a sudden. We rolled in, and he made the whole thing. Every time we practiced, there was TV cameras, and we loved it. We just thought that was the greatest thing. So he was such a good teammate. He played so hard, and We have such great memories of him being there, and he was young. It's just, and you see him now, and I think we're probably as a team even closer now just because of what we went through, and just to see him get in the Hall of Fame and do his thing was great.
So guys didn't get jealous of him. Like it's funny because like Billy, we'll have one player we have on who played with him raves about him, kind of like you did, and then we'll have another guy who was like, "Nah, he just wasn't my cup of tea," how he came into the league with the whole draft and everything. So he wasn't bigger than life. I mean, he didn't kind of carry himself like he was, bigger than everybody else.
He was, but you have to remember in the Oshawa Generals room was the same as when he went into the Team Canada room in a different way. But when he went in, there was leaders already established. Messier, Gretzky, and the boys were there. He wasn't in that leadership, category. So when he came in at 16, we had 20-year-olds. There was 8 guys in Oshawa, including myself, that could have been captains on any team in the OHL. He was not worrying about leadership. He just had to be a guy, So when I had a relationship with him when he was a 16-year-old and I was pretty much a 20-year-old, it's a little bit different. I didn't see a lot of different sides. He just fit in right with the group, and he joined us halfway through the season. So it was much different than obviously other experiences. But for us, he was a rock star. He was larger than life, and he fit right into the group. And we love the attention, to be honest. We became a super team as soon as he joined us. So.
Oh man, I could imagine.
Who else was big at that time in the league?
Well, you had like the Keith Primos of the world, Brad Mays were in the OHLs. It's Troy Millette. There were some other guys in there that were big into the league. But we played the Kamloops Blazers in the Memorial Cup, and they were the be all and end all of hockey. And Anita Meyer was on that team, and the Len Berries were just blowing like huge numbers, that these guys had, and it was a heck of a Memorial Cup. And then Stephen Rice was on the Kitchener, and it just at that time it was a huge era in Canadian junior hockey, just because the amount of stars that were kind of coming up, and Hamilton was a great place to have it. They had 17,000 people and it was sold out. So when that happened, it was a huge era for the OHL.
Listen, Billy,
and Canadian hockey.
Yeah, you've had your hands involved in so many players, man. In terms of drafting, all your time with St. Louis, and now you've got 500,000 picks over the course of the next 2. So you're going to be able to do it all over again. But give me a guy who nobody believed you that was going to be able to play. And you were like, I'm telling you, this guy's going to be a player. And you look back and you say, man, I know you're proud of a lot of different picks, but, sometimes you get a guy in the first round, hey, chances are he's going to be able to play. But give me somebody who nobody thought was going to be able to play and ended up, doing exactly what you thought he'd do.
Yeah, well, I mean, I always went through my staff a lot, because when you're traveling the world, my favorite was Perron, just because, it sounds funny. We took him in the first, but I had to fight I had to fight a lot of guys inside. I didn't have a lot of power at the time, or a lot of influence when I was coming up, and I had to kind of, make my way through. And there's a lot of guys at the time that had drafted big name players like Oshie and Backus. And I couldn't get this guy in the draft board where we needed him. And, because he'd already been passed through. And so that was a fight for me to get him on the list at the time. That was probably just, I had seen him 27 times in a year, which is, you don't see a player that many times. He was out of my home place that I was going to scout out of the Quebec League at the time. And I had to fight hard to get the guy. I had to fight even at the draft table. When we were draft table, I was still fighting for that guy. So in knowing David now and looking back, that's probably my favorite. My favorite stories, other than that, would probably be Samuel Blaze. And it didn't have a lot to do with me, other than it was Michel Picard, who was a great scout for the Blues, a tremendous scout. He, just his work and his belief in the player. And it was one of the hardest guys to draft because he played in midget hockey. I think he only played 20 games in the Quebec League. And he stood up and said, I want to draft this guy. And Blazer showed up to camp, and he was awful. He was embarrassing, to be honest with you, in rookie camp there. He was out of shape, didn't speak English, and he was basically getting on the ice for a second and jumping into the box to get off the ice, So to see him kind of come where he is, and you know, obviously be a part of the Stanley Cup team that I was a part of with the Blues was a huge thing.
What was the backlash on Perry though? Because he kind of jumped pretty quick, right? Like you didn't know about him.
Yeah.
He played AAA, and then all of a sudden dominates. Then plays 1 year, and all of a sudden he's drafted and playing in NHL.
And he's your roommate.
And he's my roommate, and I ruined him for a little bit. That's why he had a slow start.
Yeah.
Just so you know, Army. I'm sorry about that. I blame Mike Caruso on that. He put us together.
You know, it was the other guys in the staff. There was other guys that Aaron Palujas in the world, and that they were trying to get higher, you know, at the time than Perron on the list. Jarmo was very good in the arguments. Probably why he's a GM now. He's outstanding about the fight to get him on the list. We had 3 first-round picks, and we knew if we didn't take him there, we would, you know, he wouldn't make it past that point. We'd never get him in the second. So he was a huge thing for the fight. But the fight was he just a one-hit wonder? Like, is he really a pro? And then, you know, he's got a little baggage because he got kicked off his Bantam team. And why does he score 3 one night and then you can't find him the next night? Will he get through that? So there was a lot of kind of, there was Clem Jolin was the coach up in Lewiston, Maine, who coached Perron. And I had a lot of faith in him. He didn't lie about his players. And I knew him pretty well from coaching in Rimouski. And I trusted what he said about David, and he was right on. So, you know, we won. And I think the other fight at the table was Andy Murray was there. And you know, he had worked for Montreal, and his concern was, hey, Montreal went by David Perron. Montreal doesn't go by, you know, French players at the time. So it was a huge fight at the table right before we went to draft him.
And then he came into he was a little cocky. We love Perry. A little cocky.
Yeah.
And I think Walt, a little cocky. But he's just a young kid. Like, he just was like a bright-eyed young kid, but he, you know, he'd toe drag Walt in practice, and then Walt would two-hand him.
I don't think it helped that he had white skates on.
Oh my God.
Oh, my God, Billy, that's right.
It was such a big deal. It was like
he matured big time.
It didn't need to be. Hey, do you sit a player down? Do you say, listen, man, I'm taking a risk. Like, I'm the only one here that wants your ass. Yeah. Like, don't make me look bad. You got to come through. Like, will you have conversations like that with guys?
No, but you know, when we interview them, you know, at the combine, or you know, you're hard on them in the combine. I think I was pretty hard on my questioning in Perron. On the combine, and it's just about being a winner. That's my thing about, you know, we're drafting you to win a championship here. That's and a lot of them came back to me, you know, and just kind of, you know, when we were hugging on the ice, you know, a couple of them said, I told you, and I was a bleeping winner. Like, they remembered that, you know.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's the big picture, is you're trying to win a Stanley Cup with these players, you know, and you gotta put some pressure on them so they can achieve, and they know, hey, it's not about getting the big house and the big car. We're here to win a championship. That's the purpose.
Yeah, what a pro, man. He's turned into an unbelievable pro.
Yeah.
Hey, so you mentioned the combine. Like, you hear these stories like in the NFL at the combine and stuff, you know, like some of like the questioning like can just cross the line. Like, does that happen in hockey? Like, what are you trying to accomplish when you're interviewing these guys? Are you trying to make them uncomfortable? Like, what are you trying to accomplish?
Well, it's you know, the combine, you make some mistakes at times when you're hard on them, or, you know, when you're first coming in, you're like, okay, I'm gonna beat, you know, I'm gonna get what I want out of that interview. So you're so bound and determined that, you know, you beat up the player pretty good in there. And the problem is that, you know, that player will never come back and sign with you again. Like, they're always gonna remember how you treated them. So I know you're lying to me. I don't beat you up anymore. I just let you lie. You know, you're you know, and that's the difference between you know, how we, you know, that you got to be very careful. And then a lot of the times, like, it comes out the backside. Players now release what you say, so you have to be very, very careful. We had one that was an interesting one. You know, and Jarmo was running the staff at the time. We were in Ottawa, and it was Klingberg's brother. And we thought he had some hip issues. So we called him in and said, okay, we want to see, you know, we heard a rumor that he's got bad hips. So we said, okay, well, you know, we got a trainer in there. He said, okay, we'll get down to your, you know, give you these shorts or whatever. And he said, no, I'll just go in my Calvin Kleins, right? And the trainer had him up against the wall and just said, okay, can you squat down and, you know, get into like a sitting position against the wall? And he did all these exercises. So the next day in Sweden, it was released that, we made him strip down to his underwear and perform exercises in front of us.
Oh my God.
God.
I mean, it sounded harmless, like what we were doing, but it didn't really look good in words the next day in the paper. And you're like, oh my God, it's like, so you just have to be very, very careful, especially in this day and age, on how you handle those situations, for sure.
But what do you mean by the lying thing? And maybe on injuries, but like, what else would they lie about? And did you have anybody like come in where they are just terrible? And we all know Brian Burkhead talks about Nail Yakupov and how it was the worst interview. Like, does that ever happen? And sorry, it's a 3-part question. Do you look at their family too and see how their mom and dad are and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, yes. I think we did, with the Blues, we really, when I was there too, and not much different than how we run it here, we dig pretty deep. You should know the player. Like European players don't typically interview very well. They can be very, very vanilla and send the wrong thing because they're going from their language to English, and sometimes it's just hard for them. So and they don't know how to answer the words, kind of in English, to kind of keep you intrigued, and it can be long, and you're interviewing over 90 people sometimes, so. Sometimes they can come off in a bad interview, but you should have your stuff together way before that. You know what I mean? Like you should know that player inside and out, and you should know, if the player is going to be a bad interview. And when we talk about lying, you'd ask a player like, one time this guy, he had a court-ordered shrink, and we asked him about it, and he said, "Oh no, that's my performance enhancing, coach that I use, for the mental side of the game." And I'm like, it's right here in the newspaper. It's court ordered, but you just like, it's the old Lance Armstrong where he got an Oprah. They got 20 minutes. You ask them one question, they'll try to run it for 10 minutes. When they're troubled kids, they're taught now, they're educated out to run out the time, basically. So if it takes you a minute to answer the question, they'll make it 6 minutes long, on to the next, and they just keep running out the clock. So I've been doing it for a long time in there, and you're not gonna stop them from lying. You just gotta let them be, and you already know the truth on the other side of it, and that's the way it is.
So listen, when Jarmo leaves and he goes over to Finland before he even came back to manage Columbus, and like you get that opportunity to now like run the amateur side for the Blues before you became an assistant GM and doing some other stuff too. Like, did you know you were ready for it? Like, did you know deep down like I can do this?
Oh yeah. Well, I was getting restless inside. I didn't know what it was, but I was. I remember being in Minsk at the time. It was the Kuznetsov draft, and I think we drafted Hakanpää out of there too. But I was getting restless. I wanted to do more. I wanted a little bit more say, and Jarmo was real good about it. Especially in the last year there, with large input. And but I was, I wanted to take that next step, and so he kind of caught me off guard when I kind of realized he was leaving. There'd be an opportunity for me, and we were in LA at the draft. I think we did, was it Swartz and Tarasenko? I think that's where I kind of interviewed, and I interviewed for the job with Doug, and I had a pretty good feel, and I had a chance to get it. So, and I had the right background too. So I think I had the coaching background. I'd played, and I'd put my time in at that point, and I had some success with the Blues draft. So I felt I was ready, and I tell you what, it was awesome. That. Just being the head scout for the Blues, it was a game changer for me.
Yeah, no doubt, man. I mean, you had some unbelievable picks, and obviously the team went to Stanley Cup, and you're a huge part of that. You got a lot of recognition for that. But what was it like working for Doug, and just that relationship, and like, what do you take from that? Like, what do you use from that experience now in Arizona? Like, what was that relationship like between the two of you?
It was really good. I had a good feel for what he does really well is he guides. He doesn't force anything on you. He guides, and that's through his experience. And I always had a good relationship where I knew if there's a guy on the list that's coming the way, and I'm like it wasn't sitting well with him. Or we took too many D men, and we needed to. I had a good read. And that's just from working. We had good chemistry from working years together. So we kind of knew each other, but he was really good at just guiding and saying things. Hey, these are the trends in the NHL, and for example, I think he came to me about the character. One time we needed more in the playoffs because we were getting beat out by Chicago and the LAs, and we did this thing with 5 points of character. and we had tremendous resources. You got Keith Kachuk, you got Marty Brodeur, you got Dave Taylor, Al McGinnis, Larry Plow, and even Ken Hitchcock had input on that. And we went back and kind of worked on the character, and then he would come with another trend with, hey, like our skating. We had the time we had Patrick Berglund, the big lanky guys, that are kind of clunky a little bit. We wanted to fix the skating, and he had good ideas about trends. I think also one of the things he asked me to do, and I hated it at the time, and he was dead right, was he wanted to go to an area pick, with the scouts and give the power to the area scouts once you got past a certain point in the rounds. And he was dead right on that, because as a crossover guy and a head guy, you're done watching the game. You're concentrating on the first and second rounders, and maybe even the third rounder that jumps out of the second. But after that, it's, you're not watching the seventh rounder, so that's up to your area guys to kind of get. And I think that's, where you see Samuel Blaze and the Miklas of the world, and the Tuckers, they all come from the area picks. And that's a credit to Doug's thought process. And I think he also helped change the skating aspect of the Blues, and to draft Kyrou and Thomas and the Vince Dunns and add some speed into the lineup. I think he had some good impact on that too.
Well, it makes those guys feel involved too, right? I mean, that like all the work that they put in during the course of the season, like they can like maybe have some input at the draft table too, right, Billy? I mean, you want to make them feel involved too.
That's the greatest thing of being a scout. You can be a scout in Northern Quebec, and you can draft one player that could change how the Blues are for the next 10 years, and whether we win or lose a championship. The impact you can have by being that one scout and doing your job properly and bringing players to the table that play in the National Hockey League. That's the greatest thing about scouting, is you can have massive impact. And if you're on a really good staff, they do that. I mean, they do that continuously. And the Blues, not only when Jarmo was there, but when I was there, and also now with Tony Felson running the staff, they do a great job.
Okay, so like, and I've always noticed this with Doug, and I've talked to Doug about this. Like, there are certain general managers that he's got, better relationships with than others. Like, he's tight with certain guys. You see all these deals that he's doing with Detroit, right? There's a level of trust between he and Steve Yzerman. So, is it hard to establish that, like from your standpoint, like becoming a GM for the first time, even though you know a lot of people around hockey? Like, how do you establish those relationships with other managers around the league?
Well, there certainly is a trust factor when you deal with people through the media, what you do, and it doesn't get released, and the ones you can trust and the ones you can't. And we've done probably more trades than any other team in the National Hockey League since I've come on board. So, a part of, making trades or making good trades and getting stuff done is looking through the other team's eyes too, and what they can do, and making that reasonable request. That not only works for both teams, and using comparables. So I think once the GMs know that your stuff, or you're going to make sound fundamental trades, there's a level of trust I think that they have with you, but it takes time to establish that.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt about it. Listen, I'm curious your take on like how you're handling bringing all these guys on board, like who aren't going to play again. You got John Scott making some comments and calling Arizona.
What'd he say? Do I need to bag his ass up?
Calling the Coyotes a joke and whatnot. Like, first off, did that bother you when you hear that? But how do these conversations and trades happen where teams call you and say, hey, we're going to give you Shea Weber or whoever it is, in this case, Voracek. Like, how, you take that back to the owner? Like, how do these things come about?
Well, you have internal, there's a plan with us, an LTIR, it helps us, continue the plan. It helps us, basically to be at the deadline. If we got to move, cap or whatever, we still have enough cap to operate. So, and we know in the summer, if we take on bad deals, we can always get to the floor, which we're compliant. So we don't want to get leveraged by a team where, at some point in time, and by having LTIR for us, which we've had since the day I've come in, is no different. It's part of the plan, and we move forward. And people will always comment. Like I found it remarkable that we added 8 picks, and we added 2 prospects, with Kessering and Mackey, and yet we got criticized, for our deadline. And I think, we got ranked last or whatever. I'm like, how does that work? We just, we we just stacked a whole bunch of picks away. We got a great value on the Kane deal when money went through us for a third rounder. I mean, I think that's a new record for 174K. We got a third rounder. We did, deals that just, added picks, and picks give you power. So, we've completed our picks all the way back to 2026. So if you look and you skim, we're easy to pick on. If you dig deep and you go to Cap Friendly and you see our picks, then you can see the plan. But it's very easy to rip on the Coyotes, and I feel like people tee off on us because we're the easy team, to kind of make fun of. But when you dig in deep with our sports science and what we do here for our players, and if you ask players and you see the success of the players, whether it's Schmaltz, whether it's Bukestad, whether it's Keller, where all these guys, or Gostisbehere or Chychrun, you see these guys have success through here. The coaching, the skill sessions that we do, and how we have a different thought process of our warm up and our pregame skates, and so I think we're pushing the envelope behind the scenes. But if you just skim, you can always find dirt on, and you can make fun of us all day long if you want. But at the end of the day, we've banked enough picks to take care of our rebuild to 2026, and not many clubs can say that. So
yeah,
that's right, man.
No.
Right.
Listen, I hear
got
you
dirt
on
on
that.
me too. Don't worry
So
about
listen, so Jacob Chychrun. I mean, this was like it was so ongoing. I mean, obviously it took a long time before you eventually made the move and traded him, and the expectations maybe were that you were going to get this for the player, and listen, a lot of people love the contract, and I know he's been injured, missed some games. I'm sure that scared some teams. There's no question. But take us through the entire scenario of moving him and just navigating through that situation with the player.
It's an interesting one, because I was reading an article on how we buffooned it, and the big saga, and how we blew this, and it just went on forever. But again, people skim that. Like, they don't really understand that Jacob was injured for 8 months. He asked for a trade, got to the deadline. He was injured all the way back this year in November. So it's hard to trade a player when he's coming off a season. He was minus 20. He was terrible. And then you throw his injury history from before, and then you throw his injury history now, and he's out for 8 months. And people think, oh, you just dragged it through the mud. No, we were trying to get the value. We had one team that would trade for him, at the draft, and Jacob didn't want to go there, which made it extremely awkward, because the team didn't want to, put out some assets and get a player that didn't want to go there. So that saga dragged out, but it dragged out mostly due to the 8 months of injury, and people have to remind themselves. And if you look, when people talk about the value of what you get back, we could have crushed it, and we would have got 2 late first rounders, and we would have had to take money back, up from 3.1 to $5.1 million back. Why would we do that for 2 late firsts? Where we have a chance, and with the deal that we got from Ottawa, we're going to pick somewhere between 11 and 15. And if we lucked out, we'd pick at 6 with the pick. We didn't take any money back. So if you take your 2 late picks, let's say you got 28 and 32, the highest you can get is to 14 in the draft. So the value of the pick that we've got, it's a high value. It's just people skim and they don't look through it. They just think every first round pick is the same. It's not. This has a higher value for it. And we also got 2 great seconds, one being Washington and one being Ottawa's attached to it, and no money back. And that money allows us either to sign free agents in the summer or to get bad contracts and create more assets. So, I hear this big thing about not taking money back. Why would we take on somebody's debt or bad player? That doesn't make any sense to me. So I guess that would be the thought process in the Chychrun trade.
Okay, so how did he handle it? Just all the rumors. I mean, so how are you handling that as a GM? How does that work, Billy? Are you constantly communicating with the player, keeping him updated, or are you just not? You just have him focus on playing. How do you manage that?
Well, it's a different era. You've got to have great relationships with your player, and Jacob came in, and he was unbelievable in the summer when our meetings with the coach about getting his game back on track and being a part of this, and just having that conversation. You need to play well, and you've got to come in here and up your game. And he did that. Once he got off injury and he came back after November, he was great. I mean, he played a high level of hockey for us, and we had constant communication through the whole process. And he was awesome. To be honest, he handled it extremely well as a pro's pro, and it was good through the whole process. So all I can rave about him and how he got through the process. He wanted to be traded. He wanted to go to a certain teams. And we got him to Ottawa, and he was very happy about that with that group. I think it's a good fit for him too. And we got the picks and walked out with not taking anybody's debt. So it was a win-win.
Yeah, because all the talk all along was, hey, Arizona, they're holding out for 2 first-round picks. They want 2 first-round picks. You're saying, hey, we could have gotten the 2 first-round picks, but it wouldn't have been the best deal for the Arizona Coyotes because you're taking contracts back and paying guys that you don't want on your roster. Am I reading that right?
Yeah, you're exactly right. The landscape changed for us when we got in there, and especially at the end. And you got to think the landscape was changing the entire time. You had teams like St. Louis, you had teams like Nashville. All of a sudden, Detroit's pumping out their players. Like, it just changed dramatically about what was available and what you were dealing with. So and it's interesting because there's a lot of GMs, that were, that would call you and say, hey, hey, how you doing? What's going on? And then all of a sudden you read in the newspaper that they called us about Chychrun, and they didn't. They just wanted to make sure that they looked like they were in, but they weren't. There was 3 or 4 teams that were in, and we dealt with them, and it was a tough process to go through because of the injuries and the length of it. But at the end of the day, we got good value for the player, and the player is in a place he wants to play. So I think 2 things were accomplished, and 3 things, I guess. We didn't take debt back, and we got the pick that we wanted.
You've been through a lot of drafts, and I know this draft has a lot of hype, and not just Connor Bedard, but I feel like people are talking how deep it is. Like, how do you assess this, the hype on this draft compared to the years before?
Well, it has good reason to be good hype. There's good players, and at the top end, there's really good players, and sometimes that doesn't always come around. So here you have a draft that has that. So it's good for hockey. Obviously teams are competitive at the bottom. We'll see how it plays out and where everybody lands when the lottery balls drop. But it's I think everybody's dreaming about getting a star player that can change your franchise. So I think everybody that's at the back of the pack is dreaming of that day that lottery hits and they get it. But only one team is walking out. And the way that we think about it, with this type of draft is it's a deep draft. There's good players. So you can't always get your Connor McDavids, but you can walk out with your Draisaitl's and some other really good players. So, if it doesn't hit, for the Arizona Coyotes, we're not going to feel sorry for ourselves. We're going to go right back to work and find good players.
So, Billy, listen, I want to know about your owner, too, because, I mean, he appears that he's committed to the franchise, right? And then on the outside, it's like, okay, they're playing at Arizona State. They're trying to get the arena. There's talk about a team moving to Houston. People always attach the Arizona Coyotes to relocation. Like, as a manager, are your players coming to you? Are they saying, hey, like, what's going on? Like, are we just going to play in the stadium? Like, how do you handle that? Because you don't own the team, but you got to run the team, right? So help us understand that part of it.
I work for the owner. Yeah, I work for, and that's my meetings with the players. One of the first things I tell them right away, I say, look, I try to be pretty transparent to a certain degree, but I tell them right out, I work for the owner. That's what I do. I represent the owner. So, but here's what you have to be transparent when you're going through this. And we've, built new dressing rooms, a new training facility, and moved into a new dressing room and a new rink over at ASU. So our players were all involved in every single aspect of doing that. And that's helped us with a smooth transition and limited complaints to the union. So they wanted to make sure that everything was up to code and the players were happy, and our players were. They're in new facilities. It's not 17,000 seat arena, but it's a pretty cool arena to go watch a hockey game. I could tell you that. We got good energy, and our team is crushing it in there this year. So the mullet, the magic mullet, for us in there, our players love to play there. It's a really good area too, Tempe. So.
Well, you kicked the Blues' ass last night. I saw that. Clayton Keller doesn't mess around when he plays against his hometown team.
He loves to play the Blues.
He loves it, doesn't he?
And your goalie, man.
Your goalie.
Who's this?
10 breakaways.
Is this guy like?
Jesus.
Is he for real, Billy? Vermelka?
Yeah, well, it is. I mean, he is for real, and not only that, but Connor Ingram, who we got off waivers, set an analytical record the other night. The best game by any goaltender in the last 7 years of tracking analytics with their new formula. So he's played really, really well too. So both our guys are in there every night, kind of grinding it out. And Benji has some special nights when he wants to shut that door, you're not scoring on him. And he's been a stone wall for us. We've gone through. It's been remarkable in goaltending because we had Darcy Kemper in here, and then obviously we moved him, we moved Ranta, we moved Hill, and then we got Wedgwood in here. We moved Wedgwood,
Reggie.
and we were able to and we were able to kind of come up with two really good goaltenders at the same time that have kind of come in place here with Malcolm and Ingram, and really kind of been really good. So it's we've gotten the goaltender carousel, but we found two that had impact this year for us.
I played with that Wedgie in Albany. Nice kid. I'm glad he's doing good.
Good kid.
Let me ask you, like you've seen so many players, you scouted so many different superstars, like, and people are so curious about this Connor Bedard. Like, how do you? I don't know how many times you've seen him play, but like, how do you look at it? Is he going to be the upper echelon? Like, what would you guess he's going to do?
Well, he's. I think I maybe answer this kind of a roundabout way. Every one of those guys, the McDavids of the world, the Crosbys, the Gretzkys, even Lindrosses, those guys that come in, they all revolutionize the game in some way. Like Connor McDavid has done that with his skating, and Lindros did it with his power and size. And you just see Lemieux with his size, hockey sense, and skill level. He just took it to a new level. And Crosby, how fast he plays the game, and same with McDavid. They've changed the game. And I won't get into too much detail, but this particular player, what he does will change the game.
Okay.
I've been telling you, Cam.
No, I'm just asking. But there's different levels of that. I mean, because Connor could skate, you could see it. Like Bedard, I feel like I don't know if he's got the quickness, but he just knows the game, and he's got a hell of a shot. So listen, people, when you're in the Midwest and people are talking about Connor Bedard that are basketball fans in the radio, like the guy's making some noise.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Every rink he goes into in the Western Hockey League, they sell out. They sell out for a reason. Like every single rink he goes into, and they've been doing it since he's been in Pee Wee.
Hey, Billy, listen, Clayton Keller, and if anybody didn't know he was joking, I mean, they you got to get your head out of the sand. Like, I mean, he comes out and he says, "I don't think the general manager likes it when you win." I mean, listen, I understood exactly what he's saying because like you said, you're in the rebuild. That's why I keep saying here in St. Louis, everyone gets worked up when the Blues lose.
Win
I mean,
with
hey,
pride.
losing
Lose with pride
is not always the worst thing when you're hitting the reset button and you're trying to retool as an organization. So, how do you view like tanking, whatever you want to call it, versus like winning? Like where's the balance, Billy?
Where's the balance? That's a good question. It's hard it's just as hard, I think, for teams to get the first overall pick as to finish, first overall in the league. They've done a wonderful job with the lottery system to avoid tanking. So just if you tank, that's great, but it's a lottery ball that comes out, and you never know where it's gonna land, right? And you don't know what years it's gonna land on. So you can tank all you want. It doesn't really ensure that you're gonna get the first overall pick. You got to have good scouts at the end of the day. Now you got to have, I think what we've done in Arizona is, we've had a good plan about building assets and trying to draft it. And you can see that already in our team where we found the Vetmalkas and we found, the Mosers of the world, and being able to use assets to get McBain. So we've got small pieces coming. But even if teams want to tank, you still got to be ready to draft, and you got to have good scouts to do that. So, I don't think tanking solves your problem. And I think there's a balance. It's a hard balance. It's a hard thing to go through a rebuild. Nobody, you're a general manager in this league. You got to this chair for a reason because you're competitive, and it's hard. I mean, you got to take your beatings in the rebuild, and it's day to day. It's hard to do that because you don't want to cheer against your team it just ruins your soul if you do that, you know?
Yeah. And listen, people, and Arizona's been in a certain spot for a long time, but you've only been there for a couple of years, man. So you got to evaluate your situation from when the time that you got there. So where are you at, like, in terms of the rebuild? Like, when do you think the Arizona Coyotes are going to be competitive? Although you guys look pretty competitive right now on some nights, man. But but when do you think this team is going to be truly ready to compete to where the Arizona Coyotes are, like, in play for, like, big time free agents and trying to bring big time stars to the desert?
Great question. We're probably about 3 years away from really going out and signing some high end free agents or buying some players with our picks. But we're slowly adding the pieces. Logan Cooley, that we added
stud,
at 3, and then
total stud.
Yeah, we've got some other players coming through the pipeline too that are going to be good players for next year, and who knows who we get in the draft here, and we'll see. But we've been able to add pieces now. If you look at the rebuild for us, for pick wise, I don't think we can add very many more picks. So that's kind of stockpiled for us, and we're at a good point there. Now it's trying to take a small step next year and become a better team, and just trying to, we're not going to get to the playoffs, but we're going to try and take another step next year and another step after that, and slowly kind of ease into it. And by that time frame, in 3 years, we're going to be in a good shape. Our young players will, have played a few seasons in the National Hockey League, and we'll start to add some players at that point.
Yeah, a couple more things for you, man, and we'll let you go.
Yeah, you've been great. Appreciate it.
Because, and you're right, man, that Logan Cooley, like, watching him play in the World Juniors, and then, the Blues have a prospect there that he's playing with, and Jimmy Snuggerud, those two guys, man, Cooley's going to be a hell of a player. Tell me about your coach, though. Like, I don't think enough people know about your coach. This guy quietly is doing a hell of a job, Billy.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think he's unique. I'll tell you a funny story. I was scouting up in Rwanda, and I went to the game in this little barn they have up there, and it's cold. I mean, it's down the street from where Santa Claus lives. It's way up there, like it's. And so I saw this big burly guy behind the bench, barking orders. And Rwanda had been a stomping ground for a lot of years, where nothing really good came out of there. It's hard to get players that far north, and they were in first place at the time. And I can remember they had a prospect on their team that was in the draft, and we were all following the team. And I just thought to myself, watching the coach, I'm like, oh, look at this guy. He was pretty hard on his players. Like, I was like, I could hear him kind of, I'm like, oh, and he's a big burly looking guy. And so there's only one place to eat, and it's kind of like eat/bar, in town. So I went there to grab a pizza, and I snuck into this booth, and it was kind of uncomfortable because the entire Rouen team came in to eat there too, and they weren't far off from where I was. I was trying to just kind of hide and, have my pizza and get back to the hotel, and in walked the coach, And I just remember watching him kind of interact with his players, and I thought to myself, oh my God, like, this guy's incredible. Like, not only can he push them, but he has a relationship away from the rink with his players. And over the years, he won Coach of the Year. He coached in Team Canada. His teams were in first place. He went to the OHL. He was Coach of the Year there. And I just followed him all the time. And then he went to Colorado for a little bit, so he had a little bit of NHL experience. And, so I just kind of kept watching him. But what I loved about him was I felt like in the rebuild, we could go through this coach. He could be firm with the players. He could help change our culture, but he wouldn't leave a scar where we had to get rid of him, a few years later, because he was so hard on the guys. And he's had that effect. He's a new wave coach where, they can be firm, but they still have relationships and away from the rink, probably much like Cooper and Tampa Bay. And, and
he's benching everybody, Billy.
What, Billy?
Maybe not now, but the old guy,
Hey man, what do you? I always ask everybody this, man. What are you doing for fun? Are you a golfer? Do you got a boat? Like, what do you do to get away from everything?
It is a great question.
Thank you. I'm a journalist.
Easy on that.
I'm a journalist.
Easy on that. Great question.
It's been hard because we've been on the entire time. So we've rebuilt staffs. Like, it hasn't been where we've been dealing with either a move, rebuilding a staff, adding a development, building a pro. So there's been no off time. I've golfed one time. I'm not a huge golfer. For me, where it is for me, it's the trips with my wife, getting away. We'll take day trips. We'll take 2-day trips. We'll jump on a plane and go to Hawaii. But getting away, probably my thing that keeps me sane is any place I've ever been, I've built a gym. If I lived in Toronto, I built a gym in my backyard. If I had, I was in Warwick, Rhode Island, I had one in my basement. And so the first thing that's me, and I've been lifting since I've been about 12 years old, and I had one in Richmond Hill in my basement. So for me, I sneak down every morning for an hour before I go to work, and I lift, and that's what keeps me happy. Always has been, and I don't know why that is. It's a good, healthy habit to have. It gets my anger out. I don't beat people up. I'm kind of probably more relaxed going to work, but I do that pretty much every day. Now the problem is I tend to eat a little bit much. With all the food around you everywhere. So you got to watch that as a gym, because there is food everywhere in this job. It's incredible.
You have to keep buying those expensive suits because you're outgrowing them. Trust me. Welcome to my world. Hey, are you more so? What are you like? 6'5", 240, jacked? And are you more jacked than anybody on the team? You must be intimidating walking around.
I'm a little too heavy right now. I think I'm probably about 6'5". I go about 260. So, but. Yeah, I'm pushing a little bit too heavy on the knees at this point, but yeah, I mean that's what I do. I kind of I enjoy the workouts, so I can fluctuate a lot on on the weight depending on the time of the year.
So if like maybe you're kind of pissed at the guys, you ever just put like a muscle shirt on and walk in that locker room and say, "Hey, you better listen up here, boys." Slick the hair back a little bit.
Yeah, no, it's. I think they know when I'm upset just by my look when they get on the plane, But it's a different. They know I'm actually when I'm upset if I got to go have a coffee with them, So
yeah, I get you.
Hey, last thing, like I brought up the owner, but like your relationship with the owner, like he really sold you on it, right? To come to Arizona and be the head coach, or be the general manager. Sorry. In Arizona, but like you've always spoke highly of him. Like, what should people know about him, the commitment he has to, like, just how this whole thing's going to play out? Like, because I think there's a lot of unknown on the outside as to really like what goes on there with the Arizona Coyotes. Yeah,
I mean, I love the fact of working for Mr. Murillo in the sense that he made his money, from starting at a pizza place, to owning casinos, and he worked his way up. Nobody gave him anything. So he's a common sense guy. When he comes in your room and you want to explain something to get something done, it's got to make sense. Why are we doing this? Okay, you want to spend the money on this player to go get picks? Okay, I get it. So it's really a common sense thing that I love about him, and his work ethic. I mean, he'll call you, 11, 12 o'clock at night if something's pending. It's like he's on. There's no days off. He'll pick up the phone at any time and talk to you. He's a hands-on, and I love that fact of keeping him involved in the team. He's been really good in the sense of the rebuild, and understood where we were going when we walked through the door and said, "Hey, this is what's going to make the Coyotes great." And we can kind of fake it and bandage it and make it look like a team, or we can strip it down and make it real and give ourselves a chance to win a championship down the road here. And he wanted to win the championship. He's committed to the rebuild, and he's shown that, and he's committed to putting a good environment like he did at Mullet, and we're close to getting that the arena passed, and that could be a game changer for the ownership and also the franchise if we can get the new rink built in Tempe.
You call him up. Time. Hey, Alex, we just got Kane.
Yes.
Only for a day.
Only for a day. Yeah. Oh, man. All right, listen, best of luck to you,
Billy, man. Appreciate you coming on. You're always good to me. You're always a nice guy. I always remember that. I thought you looked like a movie star, too.
You guys are too complimentary, but thank you guys for having me.
Yep.
I got fond roots of the Blues and with you guys, so thanks again.
Yeah.
Anytime,
all the best the rest of the way, man.
You,
we'll see you soon, Billy. Appreciate it,
Billy.
as always.
All right.
Later, bud.
All right. Thanks, guys.
The Chemistry Podcast is brought to you by Bellman and Bellman.com. BEHLMANN.com. Get out there to Detroit, Missouri. Check it out. On one side, you got the Buick, the GMC. Options for everybody. Then right across the street, you got the Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. Again, find something that works for you and get yourself a new set of wheels in time for the winter. All right, that was Billy Armstrong. Cam
Billy boy.
on the Cam and Strick podcast, man.
Billy boy.
He's working out right now. Probably he's got that home gym. That's what I need. I need a home gym, so I could just be doing some curls and putting it in my First Form app and just making sure that I'm up to speed and staying in shape. Cam.
You just need to look more athletic, man, and working out will do that. You know what I mean? Like you need to tighten it up a little bit. Like I'm overweight, but I'm pretty jacked. But
I'm pretty jacked right now too.
You're kind of nothing. You're just there. It's all good.
Just like air.
You're just a body
floating.
That's just a body.
Mm-hmm.
It's nothing like athletic or anything about it. But if you worked out, you would tighten up and look good. You look fine, dude. Don't get me wrong. But you don't work
That is
out.
a terrible thing to say. Well,
You bash me every day. What's the difference? I'm just telling you, like, if you worked out, you would tighten up.
mm-hmm. Did you pack your sweatpants for the trip?
Yeah, I'm just wearing sweatpants. Dude. I don't care.
Every day? That's what you're gonna wear out to the bar and everything?
Kind of. Probably.
Is Kate nervous about you going out?
Nah, she's all right now. It's just different, like when you're gone with Guy.
I'm bringing my golf clubs. Is that okay?
Stupid thing to do.
Why?
We're not golfing.
We might have time to go
We
out.
don't even have clubs anyway.
What do you mean?
Can't weigh the plane down, brother.
What if I bring some First Form energy drinks?
They already got it down there. Nick already hooked us up.
Oh, that's right.
Nick hooked us up, so we're good. Bring Cam and Strick beer
Oh, I will.
for the plane and stuff.
I will.
We got like
It's a hard
champagne and
seltzer.
stuff. We got champagne.
Champagne. What are you
Champagne.
popping bottles?
Yeah, I mean, I like to drink champagne in the morning. Like that's what I
I mean,
want.
we'll have a champagne party, dude. If we, I'd like to have a.
Why don't you bring champagne?
A locker room celebration.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Where we
That too.
just
Well,
shake
you got to
it.
win first. You got to win.
I always
first.
wanted one of those. You ever won a championship?
Yeah.
Like not in England, but like.
No, I won the White Chill Championship. With
Oh, yeah.
Guelph, man. We beat London and Mississauga. I scored a couple big goals.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. It's on YouTube.
In what, the championship game?
Yeah, and I waved to the crowd, and then I scored in London, game winner, I believe.
Get out
After
of
I had
here.
like 58 minutes in penalties. Yeah, but it was good. That was fun, man.
Did you score 50 in junior? Like a lot of
No.
guys in the NHL all scored like.
No, I was a
Yeah.
heavyweight champ.
I'm joking. Even Otter scored 50.
50 games too on a breakaway and a
Really?
penalty shot.
Were you
in
on that
Windsor.
team?
Nope. It was a year before me. When I got to Windsor, Otter was the biggest dick going. Biggest big dick in the fucking town.
Bigger than Spezza.
I'd say he was. When Spez got there, he was gigantic. And then Kyle Elwood got traded for him. Kyle, they didn't really care
Kyle's
about.
cool, man. We gotta
He's a
get
nice
him
guy.
on.
Yeah, Kyle's a great. I party with him hardcore. But he wasn't Spezza, right? But Otter was gigantic, man, and he had that $1 million contract. He was a first rounder. He signed for $1 million. He had the first Escalade. I remember he was right next to us, and my Bill family was right across the street from his. And he was hard on me, man. Like he was.
Otter was.
Otter was
I
really
could
hard.
see that.
I was loud. I was fucking got popular real quick. And he
So
had
he's going to bring you down.
fuck yeah, as he should. I was getting a little too cocky, but I was
I
beating
feel like
up
that's
everybody.
a theme because they had to bring you down in Jersey, too.
Yeah. Well, when you're the toughest guy on the team, and you're a kid, and you're the youngest guy on the team, and you're beating up everybody,
They got to bring you down.
and like you're like you're part of the guys. Like, no, those guys are making $5 million. You're a fucking fourth liner. Calm down.
Jackson Aaron Downey had
Because
to bring you down when you played here in
he-
St. Louis. That
Aaron
game.
Downey.
He had to bring you down.
Oh, you're right. When I play, you're right on that. If we play that video, it's pretty funny. Aaron Downey's chasing me around the ice
yeah.
with no gloves
And
on.
Jack's got you.
I did Jack on me. But like I became popular, but I was a fourth line plug. So when you think that you're popular, you think that you're cool. But in reality, you're not. You're just popular.
Mhm.
The guys that are making fucking 10 times more money than me maybe didn't get like they score goals, but like I just got a lot of
No,
attention.
everybody loves
And
the
so
tough
it's,
guy, dude.
and so it's like they need to calm me down.
Tough guy's always the
You're
most
just-
popular player on the team.
You're just a fourth line guy. Calm down a little bit, Cam. But once I got older, you understand that. But when you're a kid, I was always young. I was a young kid beating up everybody. And I'm like, oh, I'm getting popular. Look at I'm like you guys. No, you're not. Those guys are big dogs. They love you, Cam. You're a part of the team, but those are the big dogs. Calm the fuck down.
Yeah.
That's it.
I may have to tell you that this week.
And I'm gonna have to tell your bitch ass that.
No, I might have to tell you that. Like, Cam, calm down.
Calm down what?
You're just the fighter.
I set this whole thing up. I'm Wayne Gretzky when it comes to this scenario. But in reality, like that's what happened. And I'm like, oh, okay. But by the time I got to the Blues, like I was older. I had my own other life in St. Louis, man. I had 2 different lives I was living.
A secret life.
Well, I grew up here, Andy. You know, imagine growing up somewhere and playing. Like, you got your buddies and your team. Then you got all your buddies that you grew up with. Like, you're like taking you in two different directions. I had two different lives, and I kind of liked it.
Which life did you enjoy better?
That's a good question. Probably my buddies.
Really?
Because it wasn't business. You know, I was going through hardcore, like traveling and dealing with shit on the road, trying to keep up with different things and fighting and stuff. But once I got home, like you're pumped up by everybody. Like I go home back to my little bubble. Like I go to a little restaurant with your buddies and like everybody wants a piece of you. Like you're happy. Sometimes on the road, like I'm like stressed out. Like, do I got my painkillers? Do I got to fight this guy? How do I feel? Am I going to play? Am I going to get sent down? Like that wasn't the case. I was on a one-way contract.
Yeah, but they
like,
can still send you.
They can still fucking ditch me, man. Like, so I think my buddies growing up, like you're just in a happy place because everybody's like pumping your tires up in your own little bubble, you know?
Mm-hmm. So. Billy Armstrong used to fight a lot back in the day.
Yeah.
You know, he scored the game winner in the Memorial Cup. We talked about that.
It's a big fucking deal from the point,
That's a big deal from Oshawa. You're like legendary forever.
Yeah, you are.
That'll never go away.
Remember his picture was in he had a mural over himself.
A mural
of himself on the wall, and everybody's like, "What are you on there for?"
Yeah, right.
Where's Big E?
What do you think that would be like playing with Big Eric Lindros?
It depends on
when he's 16.
Just depends on what state.
I like Billy's answer. Like he was like, no. He was 16. He's not coming in like running the show.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
he was still bright-eyed.
Because no matter what, I mean, at that level, Cam, I mean, I don't care how good you are. The 18, 19-year-old, 20-year-old, I mean, they're always going to be running the show. Like the 15, 16-year-old's not going to run it. Right?
Hell no. I don't care who you are, dude.
Right.
The big dogs are running that show because no one's making money, really.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's not like if the young kid was making a lot of money, it's like hard for the older guy to say, but they're not at that point. So it's like, no, shut the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like him walking in the room made everybody a superstar. So they probably fed off of that, just like Billy said, you know.
Do you think Arizona's going to turn this thing around in the next 3-4 years?
I don't know, man. I hope so. They need to do something. You don't want a team that is in the kind of laid out in the dust like that. No pun intended.
But I feel like this guy, you know what? And I didn't bring it up with Billy, but that John Chaika, when he was the general manager, I feel like he set that organization so far back. Remember they got in trouble with the league and all this shit.
All these picks and shit.
They were trying to. It's like, what did they want? They had Dave Tippett as the head coach. They should have started the rebuilding process back then.
I know.
You know what I mean? And they didn't do shit. So, in reality, I think Billy Armstrong has come in with a plan, and he's sticking to the plan.
I agree with that.
And you can't hold it against him for Arizona being a shit organization for all these years.
He was too busy winning in St. Louis.
That's right. So now it's like, yeah, he can't worry about everything else that's happened.
No, just go do your job.
He's like, okay, well, I got to have my own plan.
Yeah, man, no doubt.
So I look at, you got to separate the Coyotes and just how futile they've been and how terrible they've been forever.
Yeah.
Versus when he came on board. You know what I'm saying?
I do. I completely agree with you. Kind of like you coming down to Nashville. You just got to keep your mouth shut and just let me take care of business.
Get me the puck.
We'll see if you're playing.
Pass the puck.
We'll see if you're playing.
Yeah, you get your eyes up.
Well, if we're down by a ton, we're going to put you out there. We got to even the scoring.
I'll be pumping the boys up.
If Chase is going to be like, why is Andy here? And I'm going to be like, well, I need shitty players. Or we'll kill everybody by 50. So I brought Andy. That's my rebuttal to him.
It's a terrible rebuttal.
Why?
That's just not a nice rebuttal.
Well, what should I say?
Part of the team.
You signed him. 100% part of the team.
Signed him.
Yeah. And if anybody goes near you, Daddy's going to go out there.
Daddy's
just
home.
So you know. Like, I might chirp you, but if everybody, no one else is allowed to chirp you but me. I don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
Just so you know.
Yeah.
I stick up for you.
Right.
Somebody's chirping you, I'm going to be like, whoa. Like, what did you say, boy? I chirp him, not you. No, seriously.
Yeah, I know.
Because Chaser might do something to you on the ice. I don't know if he's playing or not.
He ain't playing.
I'll fucking bag his ass up.
Listen,
I'll bag him up,
He's done this before.
Dude. I love him.
He's not playing.
I look up to him, but I'll bag him up.
But I'm just saying, he there's no chance he's playing.
No way.
No chance.
Last time, you know why he didn't play?
Hey, I heard.
You know why he didn't play last time?
Why?
Remember, he was up in Gazer.
Yeah.
and he went to old boy's house.
Oh,
Sheldon.
because the dog.
The dog bit him in the foot and he got infected.
I remember it.
His Hoosier-ass dog, Sheldon Surrey, who we love.
Yes.
Chaser goes to Shelly's house,
Yeah.
and the fucking dog bites him in the Achilles and gets infected.
Surrey, hey, listen, if you never listened to Sheldon Surrey when he came on with us,
it's so good.
Unbelievable.
Shelly's such an awesome dude. But his Hoosier fuck dog
He attacked him.
attacked Chaser, and Chaser had to go sell.
I think he
these
may have
$1 million.
He may have sued him.
Chaser had to go sell these $1 million properties up in Gaza.
Limping
around like, oh, God, and then he's down in Nashville. We're like, what the fuck happened to you?
I remember it. I've
and
saw
he goes,
it several
dude,
times.
I got to tell you.
He would like clean it out in our studio.
Oh, I'm like, dude, like his fucking dog literally bit you so hard it got infected.
Yeah, it was bad.
I know.
Could have lost a foot, dude. Honestly.
So that's why he didn't play last time. But
He's not playing.
I bet he will.
Who's he playing for?
I don't know yet.
Well, he already got, a visit from player safety last time I was on the ice with him. Well, it wasn't the last time.
Oh, yeah.
But
He's going to try to go. And I'm going
several
to have to
years
step
ago.
up.
Well,
I'm going to have to step up.
So you
so you know.
So
Well, I might not if you piss me off.
that's your job, dude.
It is. I got to protect my
It's
people.
not my job.
No. I don't know what your job is
My
yet.
job is to put the puck in the net.
I don't know what your
plays.
job
Get
is
the
yet.
puck out, get the puck in.
Got to entertain the boys
And good,
and bring that credit card.
and good.
Take care of the boys once in a while, too.
You need to
I set this whole thing up.
Oh, that doesn't
Don't look at
that
me
doesn't
like I'm
mean
like I like how you
that
look
you're
at me.
like completely.
What are you bringing to the table?
That does not mean.
I brought everything to the table. What are you bringing to the table? That's my question.
That doesn't mean that you're just completely.
No, I'll pay for stuff. Of course I am. I'll pick up all kinds of shit. But like everybody knows where my duties
Is
are.
everybody like together the whole time?
Yes.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I always take care of.
Just take care of the
everybody,
guys.
dude. I always do.
It looks good, man. Take care of the boys.
Chaser one time.
Sometimes when the bills come, like guys are like, I gotta go to the bathroom.
Chaser one time in Pittsburgh took my phone and started at like 1 a.m. Started texting Blues general manager Larry Plow.
Yeah, don't take my phone. If anybody takes my phone, like
So Larry
I'll
calls
kill you.
me
I'll
the
kill
next
you.
morning. He's like, "Why are you texting me
kill
at
you.
1 a.m?" I was like, "That was not me. I didn't know what he was talking about." I look at my phone.
Jay, that's pretty gutless. I'm not. I just don't do that to me, man.
And Larry was a good sport about it.
Larry is awesome.
Yeah.
Larry Plow is an awesome dude. I love him.
He works
Get-
with it. He works
Get
with
his ass on.
Billy.
Can we get him on?
Really?
Get Larry on, dude. He's great. We got a lot of things we could talk to him about.
I used to get a limo
Yeah, we know. We've heard this
for
story a
everybody.
billion
So
times.
Larry,
I mean, Jesus.
he may have gotten in the sauce on the way to the.
I like Larry.
The
Dude.
way
He
to
was
the
so
show.
good to me, man. I like Larry.
I loved Larry, man.
Larry Plow. What's up, baby?
I would talk to him almost every day, dude. Literally. He was such a nice guy.
Yeah.
I just can't believe he answers the phone every time.
Yeah, he's a good guy, man.
He is.
Good old Eastern boy.
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts.
He played in the Olympics too.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, 1960, I believe.
Larry.
He's the best. Dude. He had a great run here in St. Louis.
Yeah,
you
he
know,
did a good job.
won a cup with the Rangers too.
Did a good job.
Part of that '94 group. So Billy Armstrong, man, we appreciate him taking the time for joining us right after the trade deadline too. So, it's been a busy time for the Arizona Coyotes.
Yeah.
And they got some good players coming in. A ton of picks, Cam. So we'll see where this goes with the Coyotes. I love how he said when he kind of laid out his plan, though, when they expect to go out there and buy a player. You know what I mean? Like, when are you going to go out and bring in a star? So all this talk, we mentioned Austin Matthews. I know people got all upset about that last week because we're talking about – it's just the way it goes in business. When you're in the final year of your deal and you're a superstar, most teams can't afford to lose that star for nothing. And they may go for it again. If they don't get him signed this summer, they may go for it again and just be like, hey, listen, we got to keep him because we got to try to win. So who knows how that's going to play out.
Yeah, just calm down.
But we've seen this over and over. There's a reason why Calgary had to trade Matthew Tkachuk, for example.
Yeah.
They couldn't afford to not. Once they tell the team, hey, I'm not re-signing here, I think you got to act on that.
Well, then do it. But, if you post something we talk about, don't, take us – you want to take Andy serious, that's fine, but don't take me serious on anything. I don't give a fuck.
So my point is, Arizona isn't trading for Austin Matthews.
No.
Is my take. He's not going there.
No.
I could see him going to Los Angeles though.
Maybe.
Kopitar's out.
Yeah.
Bring in Austin Matthews.
That'd be kind of cool.
I could see him being a L.A. King too.
Yeah, maybe.
Hanging out with Bieber down there in L.A. Maybe going to the Oscars.
If that's the reason why you're doing it, then you're a fucking joke.
I'm not saying that's the reason.
Well, I'm just saying if it is, that's stupid.
What, to hang out with Bieber?
Hang out with fucking Justin Bieber? Like, who cares? You're cooler than he is anyway.
Who's cooler, Bieber or Matthews?
In reality, Bieber, but I don't know. They're both cool, man.
Who's the coolest player in the league?
Brady.
Oh, I said he's the best captain in the league. Everyone's like, oh, he's not better than Bergeron. I was like, okay.
Whatever.
Like,
Settle down.
I understand.
Christ.
Okay. But
I like him.
he is a leader.
He's my boy. It's my boy. Right there. He's a good old boy. We like them good old boys, man. Although he's from Boston.
I had a player from San Jose, actually, who saw that on Twitter tell me, he said, hey, you know what you said about Brady Tkachuk? You're right.
Oh, it's all good. Brady's up there, dude.
The Cam and Strick podcast, Cam, is brought to you by who?
Hair Club.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. I got my appointment in March.
I can't wait to hear about this.
Yeah, I just got to get my back done. The bald
Your
spot.
back?
My back of my head.
Ah.
Back of my head.
Oh.
Don't play dumb.
You get a lot of hair on your back, too?
Not bad. Kate gets it.
Does Kate shave it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or does she, like, wax it?
No, she'll shave with her.
Really? Hairclub.com, Cam, 800-279-7878. Get that free consultation and get it today. Actually, when you get your first appointment and you mention Cam and Strick, you get several $100s off your first
Get it
consultation.
started, man.
So
That's
let's
what
get it going.
Get it going.
Get it started. And ask about the pill.
Yeah, ask about that pill.
That's
Oh, shit, I'll be
amazing.
eating that mug.
Can you grab a couple extra of those, Cam? I'd like to try it. I mean, I'm going to try
You
that.
got to do it consistently, brother.
How often? Like a couple times
Every
a day?
day. No, just
Yeah.
every day. Just take a
Okay.
pill every day.
Well, you'll fill us in exactly how it goes down.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah. Hairclub.com/Cam and Strick. Check it out. Go there today. Firstform.com/Cam and Strick. If you're going to order anything from
You think
First Form,
Nick-
you do it from that link.
Do you think Nick ate anything else yet? After that nice.
Cam, people
Do you
that
think-
look like him eat nonstop. That's all they do is eat. You don't know that? Like people that are really
No,
into
teach
working
me-
out.
teach me
no,
about
no.
working
Let
out,
me,
Andy. Good
Cam,
God.
listen to me for a second. Let me
That's not how
explain
it
this
works,
to you,
brother.
No. When
No,
you
bodybuilders
no,
maybe, but he ain't no
when
bodybuilder.
you're working out all the time,
Yeah.
they eat nonstop.
Yeah. Listen, this was
So
different eating than
No,
what
it's
he's.
not.
It was a lot of fat stuff.
Like
Yeah.
what, dude?
We were eating all kinds of fried stuff, to this steak, to boom, 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 all kinds of appetizers. I'm just saying, like, he's a healthy guy.
He had a burger. He told me.
Yeah, was that healthy? No. So the point is,
It's probably the healthiest burger you can get, like the best prime
it's
beef.
the greasiest, dude. It was.
It's not a McDonald's hamburger,
Dude, they're all like, that was a lot of calories in there, but that's why it's good. It's fatty. It's probably really fatty
Motherfucker
meat.
works out for a living. He's
Like
good.
prime rib meat or ribeye meat, dude. Grind it up. It's fucking fattening.
You take some fish oil pills at night, eat the fruits and greens for
point is,
breakfast, and
you
have
could-
a protein shake. You're good to go. He's back on the train.
My point is, like, you could look like him and eat like that
Yes,
and
you
still
can.
get back to normal again, you know?
With First Form.
Yeah. Well, just like being disciplined, like, you know what I mean? I was just joking saying that he's eating again, but like he ate a ton of food that night and he looks really good.
How would you describe First Form, Cam? Just give me a
It's
description.
legit. Legit. The real deal. That's why they're gigantic. That's why everybody wants to work there. That's why everybody's happy when they work there.
Yeah.
I follow a lot of them on our girl over there too, man. She posted something where she's at this roller rink. She's got roller skates on. She's 10 and 2 in it, like throwing, like doing backwards,
oh my God,
like moonwalk.
back in the day, old school.
What's
stuff?
her name? She's the sweetest girl. Maybe she came out to us.
Yeah.
I follow her on Instagram.
Can you
The
roller
lovely-
skate?
No, but I'd love to do that. She's like, Cam, she texts me. She goes, check this out.
Oh
She's
my
doing all these
God.
things. I'm like, damn
Like
right,
the,
girl,
the,
what's
the,
up?
The Crosby,
Yeah, 10 and 2 and
the Jeff
like
Skinner.
she's like maneuvering through people. Like she doesn't even like stride. It's all like crazy.
Yeah.
hip
Oh, I
movements.
know.
It's
Like,
awesome.
yeah, like you get a little snap. in
Man,
your
what's her
fingers.
name?
You
I
get a
gotta-
little- it's a little-
I gotta give her a
You
shout
gotta
out.
put some R&B
I'm
music
sorry.
onto there.
She's the
Jason,
sweetest
can I get
woman.
some R&B music on this edition
Where
of the Cam and
it-
Strick podcast, please?
No, because I played a badass tune the other day,
Yeah,
and
what's
everybody
it
was
like?
pumping it up
Yeah,
as usual.
One guy was, I think.
Well, I get more. No,
Firstform.com/Cam and Strick. Go there today. And my favorite is the cookie dough bars, although the chocolate covered pretzel is amazing as well. Get the energy drinks. I drink that energy drink every single day, Cam. It's natural caffeine. There's no sugar, less than almost no calories. It's an incredible way to get your day going when you're having that little, at 2 o'clock, Cam, what happens to you at 2
man, you
o'clock?
kind of just crash out.
Cam
a
takes
little bit.
naps every day.
Man, I don't have kids, man.
Yeah, well.
I don't.
But he knows everything about kids.
I know relationships because I have a million of them.
Mm.
Because I didn't meet the first girl I met, I didn't marry, you know?
You think a lot of people do that?
Yeah. I had like 50 different girlfriends. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Well, that's why you got to take your time. I didn't get married till I was like almost 30, I think.
Yeah, I didn't either. I was like 35.
Mm-hmm. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like 29 maybe, something like
That's
that.
good. That's good.
Oh, yeah, hell yeah. You got
Andy was smashing all the girls in town.
Well,
He did. Hey, when you're a
you don't
reporter, you get them.
Well, you don't accidentally like get a
You get them.
you get a dime,
Yeah, I mean, you get them.
right?
Now, Andy's got a good girl, man. 100%. I love his family.
Great girl.
Although, you know, you do a lot in that household. You need maybe when she's not at yoga, or maybe she could take a yoga day off and help you with the kid. That's all.
She does a lot with the kids.
I'm just asking.
You
I just don't want you to have to go around town and do everything and be late for stuff.
I'm never late.
I'm just worried about tomorrow a little
I'm
bit.
never late.
You gonna be good tomorrow?
I show up fashionably late.
Yeah, that's cool. People like you for that.
I'm just joking.
People are like, wow, Andy's fashionable. We like him more. No, they kind of hate
I may
you.
do it just to piss you off.
Well, yeah, you're going to piss everybody off, and then you're going to be behind the eight ball.
To be there for drinks at the and for lunch.
We got to eat something. Yeah.
I'll eat. I don't eat till noon. Remember?
Yeah.
I'll probably bring like a cookie dough bar from.
And you'll hand it out to people, and they're like, I don't. Like,
First
thanks. We'll do that when we're done eating.
Firstforum.com/Cam and Strick. Check it out. All right, Spark Skate Sharpener, Cam. Listen, you don't want Seth going near your skates.
No,
you don't want
you
him
don't.
going near anything.
No, I know. No.
Anything.
Not your daughter.
No,
You don't want
nothing.
anything. You don't want your daughter dating that nerd.
No, but he's the one sharpening your skates in the morning.
He's
Don't
sharpening
let
your skates.
Seth do it. Get a Sparks machine. Get a perfect skate sharpening anytime, any day you want.
Yep. Exactly.
Do it on your time. Use that Cam and Strick promo code, by the way. That's the promo code, Cam and Strick.
Yep.
It's going to save you more money than Black Friday and Cyber Monday. So check it out. Get that Spark skate sharpener and do it today. Find out why just about every NHL team is traveling with the Sparks and sharpening the best players in the world with the Spark skate sharpener. Find out for yourself. Check
There
it
you
out.
go,
Sparks,
baby.
SPARX. Check out their Instagram and everything else. And their customer service, Cam, by the way, is incredible.
It
so if
is.
you have questions, you call them up. They're patient with you, which is very important. If you're not getting good customer service, like when you were at Olive and Oak, I bet you that waiter and waitress was unbelievable.
Yeah, I took care of them too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, good.
Yeah.
With your gift card.
No,
Okay.
I don't just pay for my gift card. I give them.
Just making sure.
Man, what do I look like to you?
Sparks, SPARX.
Yeah.
Bellman and Bellman.com, BEHLMANN.com. Located where, Cam?
Try Missouri. Hi.
Buick GMC on
Troy.
one side of the street. On the other side, it's Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
I got that fucking badass thing out there, dude.
What is it? You couldn't park it today.
Oh, well, this
It's
stupid
very
fucking parking
embarrassing
lot.
what you were doing when you're
Stupid
trying
ass
to park.
parking lot. It's for like Kia. This is like Andy's territory out here, like Nerdville. Everybody drives like a little fucking Kia and stuff.
Mercedes.
Yeah, right. No, like look at the parking lots, like the nerdiest nerd cars ever. So they have really tiny parking spots, and I got this 6.4 shit kicker in there. And everybody's like, when I pull up, they're like, oh my god, that thing's too big. Like, what's going on here? Like, and then they have their little cars that they cruise in and out of, and it's fine. Then they get stuck in the wintertime, but it's all good. It's all good.
Bellman.com.
Bellman.
BEHLMANN.com.
Bellman.
Say hi to Dan and
Danny,
Kenny
what's
and
up?
everybody. And
Kenny,
Dale.
what up? Dale, don't play
Dale
with me,
the
Dale,
best.
boy. I'm watching ye. Okay?
Hey, gelsticks.com, GELSTX. This is the best training mechanism on the market right now, Cam.
Yeah, man.
Like, how do you use it?
I use it right before practice,
What do
every
you
single
do?
practice, dude. Stick handle. Hit it off the wall, get a little puck, get off the wall, boom, 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 boom. Then you go out there and stick handle, man. You're like, what? I'm sticking on a golf ball.
Yeah.
Easy peasy.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I like how that, because you know what, man? Then you just like all of a sudden you go out there, you're ready to go. Like, I'll be ready to go for our first game. Hey, listen, if our first game's at 10, Cam, what time do we need to get there?
If I were you, I'd show up at 11.
That's not cool.
Yeah,
See,
keep
I'm
it
not
safe.
walking
Keep it
into,
safe,
I'm not
man. Show
walking
up at
into
11.
that.
It'll be fine.
Oh, you're going to act like that? No.
Kind of.
That
And
is-
we're 3 hours into this.
What time do I show up for the
Dude,
game?
We'll all go together, dude.
What time?
Chill out.
What time are you going to be there?
Dude, we're all going on the same bus.
And you bring the jerseys and everything? You got it all?
Why the fuck would I bring jerseys? They're already there. Jesus Christ.
So I don't
Have you
need
done anything ever? And like, I know you're in locker rooms all the time, bird watching, but like, haven't you ever done a fantasy camp? Have you done anything like this? Like, Jesus.
Hey, we're
dude.
gonna have
Like,
a
get
good
on the
time.
bus when
Hey,
we get there.
We're gonna have a good time.
Yeah. I know.
Follow our Instagram and everything
Yeah,
else
that's true.
for
Follow
the
that.
latest content from Nashville. Cam and Strick takes on Nashville.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a lot of fun.
yeah.
Cam, just hang with me. You'll be okay.
Yeah. Teach me, Andy. Just
Okay.
tell me what to
No,
do.
just
I
hang
don't
with
know
me,
anybody.
Cam, listen.
I know you're
It's all
running the
good.
show.
Hang with me.
I will.
Okay. Gelsticks.com. Get your gel sticks. Hey, and check out our Instagram, all our social media
Yes,
channels.
Follow us on everything.
On everything.
Everything.
So check that out and do it today.
Love all you guys.
Cam and
man.
Strick Miami. We appreciate Billy
We love
Armstrong
all
for
you.
joining us. Lots of great interviews coming
We
up.
love all you.
Stay with us, and thanks for supporting the
See you
Cam and
guys.
Strick podcast.
There, dudes.